All right. What is going on, everybody? And welcome on in to a brand new edition of the Cinema Lords podcast. Episode number 11. And boy, oh boy, do we got a banger. We had two finales in the shows that we've been recapping this week. The finale of She-Hulk, the finale of Rings of Power. We had the famous penultimate episode. The only reason that anybody knows the word penultimate is because of Game of Thrones and what they have done with their 9th episode for seasons. It's one of my favorite words now. I use it all the time. House of the Dragon had their penultimate episode. We also have a Halloween Ends review coming to you guys this week as well. We have a lot to dig into. But before we get to that, first things first, off the top, I want to say welcome back. The boys are back together, fresh off his few weeks of work training. Mr. K. Los on the ones and twos.
Woo! What's good, baby?
What's going on, brother? Missed you. Happy to have you back, man. How was the work travel experience?
It was good. It was fun. It was new. It was exciting. It was exhausting. Stressful. Traveling. Fuck Delta. But other than that, no, it was a good time. But I'm glad to be back. Let's do it.
Nice. Good to hear that. Glad to hear it. And then the man who's been fucking filling in, the utility man himself, he's been all over the place in Lois's absence. He's back on the co-hosting side with me this week, Mr. Seth Rogers. What's going on, bud?
What's happening, boys? Before we get into this, I just want to say thank you for having me on this podcast today. I got a lot of things to get off my chest. Has to do a lot with these shows, these movies. I got a lot on my mind, so thank you for having me on it today, because I don't know if I was going to make another week without getting this off my chest. So.
Got something you got to release.
Oh, I got a lot of things to get out of my chest here today. So let's get into it. Let's go.
Love to hear that. Love to hear it. We do have a lot to talk about. I got some. I feel you on that. I got some pent up aggression in me as well because of one or two of these two things that we're going to be talking about. First things first, though, I want to start off my show by saying R.I.P. and peace to Robbie Coltrane, the actor that portrayed the great Rubeus Hagrid on screen in the Harry Potter series, passed away this week at 72 years old. For those of you that don't know, actually, you can probably look right here behind me, and you will see a shit ton of Harry Potter pops. You'll see over in the corner a bunch of Harry Potter books. I am a huge Potterhead. I fucking read the books all the time. I'm in the middle of like my 6th or 7th reread. So Harry Potter is something that holds very true to my heart. And Rubeus Hagrid, I mean, Seth's a big Potter fan too, but Rubeus, he's one of the best, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing but love and protection, that guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
The books. I think the movies didn't do him full justice for what he did in the books. I feel like
just
around
more,
like
just
4
more
or 5. Yeah, he wasn't really involved in the movies. But yes, that steady character. I mean, Harry wouldn't have made it to Hogwarts if it wasn't for him. So
damn right. And Robbie Coltrane did a terrific job portraying him on screen. I already watched a couple Harry Potter movies this week, and it's just, he said it in the Back to Hogwarts HBO special, for those of you guys that saw that. But he said, in 50 years they'll still be watching. Sadly I'll be gone, but Hagrid will still be here. And
that he will.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Right away I was just like, yeah, right away I tossed on Harry Potter as soon as I got home from work that day, and I was just, let's go visit with Hagrid, you know what I mean? But R.I.P. and peace, like I said, to him. The other thing I wanted to mention quickly, me and Seth are going to be back, I think, either Thursday or maybe one day this weekend. We're going to be talking, but we're going to be back here to do Andor 4, 5, and 6. Because we definitely got to bang that out ahead of next Tuesday so that we can be on pace to do 7 on this show.
Picks up, too. I just got done watching episode 6.
Oh, yeah?
Episode 6, if I'm saying that's what it jumps off, is a little too far down the line for me, but
season.
Episode 6 was very good, so
right.
Be on the lookout for that.
I got to bang out all 3 of those still. That's probably going to be a project for me tomorrow on my day off, is to bang out 4, 5, and 6. But with that out of the way, let's get into Halloween Ends. All 3 of us, we checked it out on Friday, right? Saturday afternoon. We were going to head to the theater, but due to some scheduling and stuff, we kind of had some stuff we had to going on. We ended up just checking it out at my house on Peacock, and I'm glad we ended up doing that. I'm glad that we all didn't go and spend, fucking $13, $15, because the movie was definitely a fucking letdown.
Huge letdown.
I mean, to think that this is the trilogy, and this is the final piece of the trilogy, we brought back Jamie Lee Curtis, so we have Jamie Lee versus Michael Myers, and neither one of them were the main character of this movie.
No,
fucking crazy.
The whole trilogy. I think you and I both agree. The first movie was very good.
Yeah, awesome.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was better than the original, but it's probably top maybe 3 overall Halloween movies.
Yeah, awesome.
But man, what a nosedive it took after that. The last 2 were not good at all. it's so frustrating to me because like I've been saying, you have the easiest formula in cinematic history, and it's slasher films. Whether it's Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers, the formula's right there. He comes back from the last movie. You show an hour and a half of him killing some people. You get into a final battle with the main character. He died, like whatever. If this is the last one of the trilogy,
die, doesn't die.
He dies. Like if you want that, that's fine. But like for him to be in the movie for the little amount of time that he did, and like I said, for them to bring in a whole new like main character in this, it's irresponsible.
It was crazy.
Like you have the easiest formula in cinematic history right in front of you, and like they're trying to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah,
doesn't need reinventing. If you want to reinvent the wheel, show ways that people die that you haven't seen in any other slasher films.
Kills,
whatever, creative kills. Did they have a couple? Sure, but the fact that they deviated away from that was just, oh man, what a fucking letdown. I got to be honest, I'm glad it's done.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the fact that it's, like I said, the last part of this trilogy, and we didn't see Michael Myers on screen until after the 40-minute mark.
No joke.
40 minutes in. It was like 42 minutes. And at that point, we saw him it was like a 7-second scene, real quick. He's strangling the guy and he lets him go. Maybe. It's like 7 to 10 seconds tops.
No joke, 20 minutes. He's in the movie, 25 minutes.
At one point, I didn't know if we were watching the right movie.
It was crazy. I mean, like with all that said, there was a lot of bad. Like you actually kind of quickly mentioned, I did think that they did do some creative kills in this. I thought the kills were pretty good. The gore factor, especially up from Halloween Kills, because that was one of my biggest complaints about kills, was that I thought the kills were flat.
Although the one where she shoots herself with the gun with the car. You remember the one with the car door? Like Michael Myers kicks the car door open. The gun like flips around and she shoots herself. Like that was fucking awesome. But that's what I'm talking about. Reinventing the wheel.
Yeah.
You come up with something that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
From a slasher film. Like take your time to come up with that. Not how do we make a new character or a whole movie that we haven't seen. They're slasher films. We want to see people get decapitated for an hour and a half.
Yep. And I also would say like the beginning, the opening scene, like shocked the shit out of me. I was like, oh wow, I did not see that fucking kid going off the railing. He fucking snaps somebody.
If that's what all it was for, that'd be awesome. I didn't know that was going to be the catalyst for a new character for the whole entire movie.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I thought it was just original, just a quick 5-10 minute, like, oh shit, all right, here we go. Like we're into it now.
Yeah.
And it ends up being like the main scene of the whole movie. Wow, man, what a frustrating fucking movie to watch.
Yeah.
Really frustrating.
I do like, if you had replaced Halloween Kills, if you just erased it and you made this movie part 2, right? And you still did some work to it, I could have bought into it. The fact that you're trying to reintroduce this new character in the final plot it's ridiculous. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. If you had done that, say, like in part 2, where you're trying to introduce, say, like, there's like this evilness to it, and it's kind of more like a fucking supernatural thing that happens in was it Haddonfield? I think it is.
Yeah. Oh, what was it from?
Then fine.
Like for the original, like 4 and 5. Was it Jamie Lee Curtis's like niece?
Yeah.
Remember the little one? She's the one that she ends up getting kind of the same realm as this new character. Like that was fine, but man, it's so aggravating.
Yeah, I couldn't buy into it at all. It fucking was weak, man. Like I was really annoyed by the whole first hour because it just took so long.
Sure did.
The second hour wasn't that bad. The actual sequence when Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers get together, pretty good.
Yeah.
Michael Myers' actual death, pretty awesome. Yeah. Pretty fucking disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? I was into the second 40, like the last 40 minutes. I was much more into. I was like, you know what I mean? You cut that opening hour like into 25 minutes. You introduce more kills. There's a movie there that was salvageable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But overall, I came away. I gave it like a 47.
Yeah.
Pretty low. Pretty low.
Yeah, lower than that for me, honestly.
Lower than
I didn't have an exact number, but
higher. Or would you say it was better or worse than Kills?
Probably slightly better, just because I thought that the ending and the whole concept of the second one was, for lack of a better term, retarded.
Yeah.
Like just flat out dumb.
Yeah. I would say the first hour of that, while being boring, it was still better than that corniness of the whole town village.
Yeah, evil dies tonight. Like, shut the fuck up, dude.
So terrible. Lois, you hated it as well?
Yeah, it was a bag of shit, and I did not like it one bit. I was very disappointed. My only recommendation is not even go see it. I would just throw on. I would throw on one of your favorite Halloween movies.
Put on the OG.
Yeah,
and
we just watched it last night.
And watch something that's actually half decent because it was not good.
Yeah, me, Los, and Steph watched the OG last night. First time I'd seen it in a while. Now I want to watch part 2 because part 2 I fucking love. Part 2 is awesome.
Yeah, it's a good one too.
Yeah, he's fucking in the hospital the whole time. Fucking awesome. But I think that wraps it up for Halloween, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
you know what I
Before
mean?
I get any more mad, and I
Disappointment.
start slapping this mic around. Yeah, let's get into it.
Glad the trilogy's dead. You know we're gonna see Michael Myers again in our lifetime. He'll be back probably sooner than later too.
Probably.
But who knows when they'll start rebooting that again. I think we're gonna kind of skip the news segment this week, unless there's anything we want to dive into.
Yeah,
I didn't have anything.
I don't have too much. The only thing I think of, movies starting to, I don't want to call it like "Don't Worry, Darling" effect, but I'm starting to get nervous about it, and it's a shame because I love this guy. Black Adam, I'm getting a little bit nervous about. Seems
Black Adam's. I thought it's bad reviews so far. I haven't really
the
looked,
reviews
to be
I haven't really seen, but just in terms of the tickets and the pre-sale, are
I got you.
horrendous.
I actually just saw prior to the show on Twitter. I don't know how accurate it was, but it seemed like it was an accurate source. It said it's opening at 50% on Rotten Tomatoes by critics.
It's not good.
No,
It's not good.
Not that that's a
Not
huge,
good. Critics never understand superhero
Yeah.
movies, though. They're a bunch of
I think it's just
snobs.
the DC effect. I
But
think they
DC
just
stuff.
Yeah, I think they've dug themselves a hole that they just can't get themselves out of.
Even the fucking Brahma Bull can't get you.
Right,
People's
the
champ.
people's champ. Yeah, exactly.
The great one himself.
Yeah, so nervous about that one, but that's really all I had.
Yeah, we still got to check out Amsterdam too, which you mentioned last week. Also, does not seem to be doing too
No.
well, man. People not saying good things about it. I still want to check it out, but
Yeah,
not so many good things being said. Terrible money wise too. It's getting not making
like I said, for the
anything.
amount of money they dished out for those actors and actresses that are in them, can't imagine it profited.
No. That movie's gonna be one of those dumpster fires, I think. But with that said, let's jump into our recaps, because our recaps, we got a lot to talk about this week. Like we said, we had 2 finales, and I got to be honest, I thought both fucking finales hit and smashed.
Yep.
So I'm excited to talk about both of those. House of the Dragon's going to be our last one, as always. That one, not as excited.
We'll get to that
We'll
one
get
too.
there.
Yeah.
Let's start with the good stuff. We had the finale of She-Hulk, which is a show that we've obviously kind of been a little back and
We
forth
bounced
on.
back and forth on, yeah.
Really enjoyed the first 4. Next 3, very out on, kind of. Very meh. And then obviously last week with Daredevil, awesome, best one yet.
Yep.
And then we were saying it last week on the pod, all right, this is a big moment. Like, this is going to kind of decide how we view this show. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you nail it, we'll look back on it very fondly.
Right.
If you miss it, we're going to trash it.
Yep.
And boy, I thought they fucking smashed
Knocked
it out of the park.
Yeah, knocked it out of the park.
It was
Same exact
fucking.
thing.
It was original. It was creative.
Yeah.
It was fucking hilarious.
Yep.
I thought it was great, and I thought it fit this mold of this show
Yeah.
perfectly. It was exactly what this show was.
Yep.
I thought it was perfect.
My thing was, if you come up with something that's so like creative that I haven't seen before and you pull it off, you get bonus points
Yep.
for me. Like, for some reason, the only thing I could think of to compare it to was maybe just because I saw it recently, was the end of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah,
it was
great.
so fucking outlandish and crazy and hilarious that I was like,
Flamethrower,
wow, like
fuck.
this movie got a boost for me because like it's so fucking crazy, like it's so just out there,
nuts.
and they pulled it off. And that was the same way I felt about this one. Like it was so crazy and out there, but in the most positive way possible.
Yeah.
And it tied together the whole entire like season very well.
I thought so. Los, thoughts? Season finale?
Yeah,
Fan?
I thought it was creative. It was pretty funny. At one point, I didn't really know what I was watching.
But in a good way. Do you feel the same way? Like in a
Yeah,
good way?
no, I definitely was laughing at it. It was good. And in general, I like the show. It's better than anything they put out recently, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Like you said, it was definitely different and very creative and pretty funny. And I'll give it a B.
The show overall? Nice. That's a good
Yeah,
rating.
yeah, no, I mean the finale. in
Oh, the
general.
finale. Oh, all right. Oh, I got to be honest. If I'm rating just this finale, I'm going straight A. I might even go an A+.
Yeah.
I thought it was fucking amazing. I really did. I'm not going to lie.
Yep.
But let's dive into it. Episode 9, the finale. Whose show is this? Which kind of I feel like fits the mold of this episode perfectly. Great name. And we open up with we got the classic Lou Ferrigno Hulk TV
Yeah.
show.
So good.
Like
Off the rip.
intro.
Yeah.
We get the narrator, the old school vibes, the colors and shit, the costumes and all that.
Like the green's even
start-
different. You know, if that makes
Yes,
sense.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like the Hulk
It's
green
like
is
faded.
different. Yeah. Like lighter green almost. You can tell it was made in the 70s.
Yeah. The whole they just killed they killed the vibe perfectly. Which I've only seen a couple of episodes here and there, but right away I just started laughing as soon as it kicked in. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is hysterical.
He like doesn't get bigger. Like, it's just like his shirt rips off. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
yeah.
And that's the only way that he becomes the Hulk. It's just he gets green and his shirt rips off. Like he doesn't get bigger.
Yeah, he's just one size fits all. But like I said, we have the same, like the whole narrator vibe, and he literally just lays out the whole season, everything that we've seen so far. And we got, like I said, everything. We even get Jen doing the old Lou Ferrigno, and she does it perfectly. She does it like in the monotone Lou Ferrigno voice, like, don't make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry.
And it gets into the cheesy like 70s like music too. You know what I mean? Like, it's just perfect.
Mark Ruffalo is there too, but he looks almost like fucking. He's got like the curly hair. He looks like he's straight out of the 70s. They gave him a little wig and shit.
Yep.
Mad funny. I thought the whole thing was hysterical. They show She-Hulk hulking out too, like from last week. Like I said, they do the whole recap, but she's the same thing like you said. She gets way bigger in this recap thing than she does in the actual
they enhanced
show.
it. Yeah, definitely enhanced
They
it.
turn her into like Lou Ferrigno She-Hulk. Yep. And then basically she wakes up and the whole narration's a dream. And it looks like she's in the Emil Blonsky cell that we saw earlier in the show.
Yeah, right.
Same high security prison. Looks like the same exact cellular vault basically that she's chilling in. And Nikki, Pug, and Amelia are going to stroll in. And I already kind of liked Pug, but this episode, man, this guy cracked me the fuck up. Dude, Pug funny. Is so funny, man. I love this dude.
The typical like Marvel, I don't want to say like comic relief, but definitely that role of, you know what I mean? Like was it Michael Pena and Ant-Man? Kind of same thing, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Same exact
definitely
role.
The same feel, yeah. But like very funny. Just something about him. It's not that he's dry, but he is kind of dry.
Yeah, he definitely is, yeah.
He's weird about it. Yeah. It's very funny. I don't know what it is. His whole, just the way he talks, everything. But they show up. Jen's obviously, kind of pissed off. She's saying, we got to go after these guys. And they're like, yo, we can't even worry about that. We got to worry about you. You know what I mean? Yeah. You just freaked out. And, she's like, I got fucking angry. What would you expect? And they're like, well, that's exactly what they wanted to happen.
Damage control.
Yeah, exactly. Damage control. Turns out, plea deal's already on the table. She's like, what are the terms? Find out she right away accepts them. We don't know what they are just yet, but she already gets fucking hopping out of jail. So, like, all right, she accepts whatever this plea deal is. And then she gets outside, and the first thing she sees is her parents, which this part I thought was funny. Her dad's there, which her dad cracks me up too. Hey, honey, don't worry. People go to jail every day. Which I thought was fucking
Typical
great.
Parent moment there.
Yeah. Then we go to her. She's at her apartment. She's watching the news. It turns out the plea deal was she can never be She-Hulk again. She can never basically Hulk out, never use her powers ever again. Seems like a pretty tough bid. Turns out she got fired again. She's not a lawyer again. He got fired from her new office.
Understandable.
Yep. She's chilling at dinner with her parents. They're like, honey, you run out of money. Don't worry. You can always move in. Turns out it's exactly what happens. She moves right on into her old bedroom with her parents' house. Tough bid. Her mom's even got she's like, I use that as the gym now. I got gym equipment. I work out every morning at 7 a.m. You can join me. It's just like, fuck. Yeah, I'll see you on the couch. Yeah, I'll see you in the fucking TV room. But tough bid for Jen, She was just starting to kind of figure things out. She was getting the hang of the whole fucking lifestyle. She was really making the most out of it kind of finally, and everything's upside down now, yeah. She can't be She-Hulk. She can't be a lawyer. She can't be nothing. Mm-hmm. We go to, still at her parents' house. Nikki's going to show up. They're going to start kind of planning their attack on Intelligentsia. The mom's pulling out some pictures and photos of Jen, showing Nikki. Nikki's loving it. Turns out, they can't find like anything on Intelligentsia. While these guys might not be the baddest villains in the world, they're pretty smart.
Cyber, the cyber side of it, they're very good at.
Yep, for real. Fucking like Anonymous.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Intelligentsia, Anonymous. But they can't track them. But basically, Nikki's like, hey, we're gonna find these guys. They're gonna slip up eventually, and then when we do, we're gonna take them down by any means necessary. And Jen's like, no, we're gonna use the fucking law. We're gonna take them to law. We're gonna put them in jail behind bars. Nikki's like, yeah, or use whatever means necessary. And Jen's like, no. And she's like, all right, fine.
God,
like, fine, loser.
Yeah, lame.
Lame for real. Then the mom's going to come back. She's like, hey, look at this video I just found, showing it to Nikki. And it's Jen in, college with some of her roommates. They're dancing, acting a fool in fucking their dorm room, just fucking twerking out and shit like that. And Nikki's like, oh, man, please send that shit over to me. You know what I mean? Mom's like, yep, already did. No problem. So we see Nikki leave. Jen's going to head up to her room. Mom's going to be like, yo, Jen, you want to come help me with this? Oh, wait, forgot. You can't be She-Hulk anymore.
Just move a whole bureau or something. I'm thinking of just moving this on the complete opposite side of the room.
Something like that, yeah. But just another kick when she's down, you know what I mean? She already is having enough. And she's like, I don't need to be reminded that I can't be She-Hulk, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. She's like a 90-pound girl, and she's not. She ain't moving shit.
Yeah, she can't even move a bookcase or whatever it was, you know what I mean?
They're going to need the whole family. Mom, Dad, Nikki stay around. We're going to need all four of these people to move this bookcase, probably. But she's going to break the fourth wall, and she's going to be kind of, this isn't even like a redemption superhero story. This is like just me getting screwed. Like, is this what you guys want?
Yeah.
And she's broke the fourth wall obviously a ton in this show. She's gonna make her thing, but this episode, boy, she's gonna go breaking.
If there was a fifth wall,
walls, yeah.
If there was a fifth wall, it was broken too.
She's Hulk smashing through fucking every wall she can find. But like I said, she's kind of like, is this what you guys want? And as soon as she says that, the narrator kicks in and goes start talking again. And then she's like, no, we're not getting that off the rails here, all right? We don't need the narrator. Which again, I thought that was fucking hilarious. She's gonna try to text both Hulk and Emil. Neither texts go through, so it seems like they're both off the grid, kind of a thing.
Well, Emil doesn't have any reception over there where he is.
True, good point.
And Hulk, if he's on a whole nother planet, a whole nother world, I can't imagine.
Good thinking. Sakaar, obviously,
he's got a little bit more important things going on.
Yeah,
going on.
Good call, though. I forgot about the Emil's the reception thing back when they were there. But she's like, hey, Emil told me to come on by whenever. Now's the time where I need him. I'm gonna head on through. So we go from there, and we go to Nikki back at her office. And Nikki's going to do a pretty crazy move, but it's going to work out for her. She's going to take that video of Jen twerking from college with her roommates in college, looking a fool that her mom just sent over to her, and she's going to post it on the Intelligentsia fucking, blog fucking basically. And sure enough, jackpot, right away, gets a message from somebody, hey, private fucking party tonight, or meet and greet, whatever you want to fucking call it. Rally, yeah, fucking a rally. Come on by, bro. And she's like, sweet, I got the in right away. Bang, that plan worked. But she reads the bro thing, and she's like, oh fuck, they're expecting a dude. Of course they are. Pug, you know what I mean?
Get your ass in there.
Pug, yeah, exactly. Which thank God she did, because again, like I said, Pug. This episode I thought was great for him. He killed it. He was cracking me up the whole episode. We quickly see Jen. She arrives at Emil's house, and she is going to bump into the dude that I just keep calling the Zoltan, because that's who he reminds me of. Is fucking don't mess with the Zoltan there. Or actually, was it Zohan? Zoltan Mesko.
Right, yeah.
But basically, she's going to get over. She's like, hey, I'm just looking for a place to stay. Gives her a room. How about a hug, too? Which I thought was pretty funny. This guy's just totally reformed now. He hasn't left. He hasn't listened.
I wish the whole cast was still there from that episode.
Yeah, brought them all back.
But yeah,
that would have been funny. Yeah, if they brought all of them back. We go back to Nikki. She's got Pug now. They arrive at the Intelligentsia event. And because they're not exactly tech spy gurus here, instead of having those fancy little earpieces that you'd see in any other normal spy movie or anything like that, we're like, yeah, we got an iPod that you can fucking...
Yeah, it's just the AirPods.
Yeah, AirPods, there you go, yeah. Take this AirPod and fucking put it in your ear. And even Pug's just like, this is going to look ridiculous.
Not exactly coy.
Yeah. I think she said something like along the lines of like, you're not going to look any more ridiculous than any of the misfits that are going to be in there, basically.
And then she goes in there, it's pretty much everybody's got the same douchebag looking fucking, just the one Bluetooth in there anyway.
So as soon as he kind of walks in, he sees, actually kind of like you mentioned, looks like a fucking rally, like a loser rally, the nerd convention rally.
Not like a KKK rally or anything.
Yeah, no.
Specify your rallies.
Yeah, right. Yeah, fucking intelligentsia. I don't even know what to call these guys. I guess nerds is the best way to put them, but extra nerdy, these guys. Misogynistic as well.
Because, it's like if you were a nerdy sexist.
Yeah, because Pug's going to join a group of guys real quick, and they're just basically like, who needs She-Hulk? You already got a He-Hulk. He's good, fucking. And then they're like, who needs Lady Thor? She's not as good or as strong as the real Thor.
And I kind of thought this was like, I thought it was like Marvel's way. I thought Marvel was going to kind of dive into that a little bit, you know what I mean? Getting like culture, you know what I mean?
Right.
I was like, oh yeah, here we go. But like, you're lucky it was just kind of like a passing by scene. Like,
I was gonna say, the way that
I don't think it was anything that was like that.
The way that Pug plays, he plays right into it like perfectly, which is what makes it funny.
Right.
Fucking right away, he's just like, females, man, am I right? And they're all like, yeah.
Preach, Pug.
And then fucking who strolls into the fucking little circle but Todd. Todd right away is just like, yo, Pug, like, I know you. I pay to use your attorney office. You know what I mean? This guy's the man. Fucking yada, yada, yada. Like, I know this guy. Everyone show him a good time. You know what I mean? He's one of us. He's like, I should have known. You work with her. I should have expected that. You know how, like, fraudulent she is. I'm not surprised that you're here. You know what I mean? And then one of the guys mentions, do you think she slept with her boss? And then Nikki goes, say yes. And Pug goes, yeah. And she goes, no, say yes like you're angry. He goes, yeah. And it pisses me off.
Yeah. And then all the guys are like, ah.
I thought that was fucking hysterical. But then he's going to, basically say, like, hey, Pug, like, how the fuck did you fucking, get all intertwined and all this shit? And it turns out, Todd's like, I started this whole thing. I'm the head of Intelligentsia. I'm the Hulk King. Oh shit!
And it kind of like at first I was like, they didn't think of him as a suspect, but at the same time I'm watching it and I didn't think of him as a suspect. You know what I mean? But like you would think about it now that they say it, it's like, yeah, it makes plenty of sense. Like he obviously has a vendetta against She-Hulk. He's filthy rich, so you know what I mean. He could definitely financially support something like this.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, I feel like it's just right in front of your face, and nobody really saw it. Characters, me watching it, nobody.
I was a little bit onto the guy that he hired. Was it Josh, the one that ended up like sleeping with her and stuff?
Yeah.
Now the only reason why I was even onto that guy was because it felt like such a throw-in at the wedding, and just because every guy had been anti-Jen until this point, so I was like, all right, something seems
got a deeper
off
meaning behind
here. You know what
this.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
But other than Todd, I didn't even think about him for a second, or any of these guys that she went on dates for. I didn't think anything of them. But once you said made sense. I was like, all right, word.
It's like, oh yeah, duh, kind of.
Right, which is actually, I think that's actually what, like, I think that's literally what Nikki says.
Yeah,
Pug's like, Todd's here, and she's like, wait, really? Actually, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, should have saw it coming.
Right, kind of almost thinking exactly like the viewer thinks, which is good. It's a nice creative way of doing that.
Yep.
Then we're gonna see that Pug's earpiece is gonna die on him, and then Nikki's like, all right, he's fine, he can improvise. And then right away, after like a second away, she's like, no, he's an idiot. No, he can't. I have to go in there, and she's gonna go burst on into the scene. So we see that Jen back at Emil's now, still with just the Zoltan. None of the other guys showed up. They're having some tea. He does shout out one of the other guys, though. Actually, right now, they're having some tea, and he goes, I can't think of the vampire's name, but the vampire, the guy who thinks he's a vampire, he goes, oh, he showed me this. It's really good. You're just going to watch him when he makes it because he tries to sneak in chicken blood. But basically, he's going to try to help Jen himself because Emil's not around, and she's like, Emil's the only one that perfectly understands my situation because he's not allowed to turn into Abomination, just like I'm not allowed to turn into She-Hulk. It's like a court pro bono kind of thing. I can't do it. So, pro bono. Court-ordered. Jesus Christ. Just completely mixed up my thoughts there. But court-ordered thing. So, she, perfectly gets exactly what I'm going through. And Zoltan's like, all right, yeah, Emil's down at the lodge. Go find him, go have a chat. So right away, you kind of almost see, I felt like we're sort of like where things were going in my mind. I was like, all right, something's...
Yeah, the wheels are turning.
Yeah, I was like, something's off here. Something's not adding up. So we go back to the Intelligentsia event, and we see Todd. He's kind of making like a little speech, and then he's going to announce we have a guest speaker. And I'm like, oh, shit. I was in my head, I was actually thinking, is this where we're going to see fucking Kingpin? Because we were supposed to get Kingpin, but she never ended up coming in.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, the guest speaker is Abomination. Not Emil,
Abomination. Yeah.
But he does come in Emil's clothes. It's like the white, like the white little guru suit. He's like dapping up all the boys. Starts giving like a little speech. Like, I heard you guys have been, working your hardest. You can tell he has no idea like what he's giving a speech to because he doesn't mention like She-Hulk or like anything that they've done.
Yeah.
He's just like, I've heard you guys have been working real hard and putting forth your best efforts and stuff.
Just needed a motivational speech, but you have no idea what he's motivationally talking about.
Right. And who's going to stroll in the fucking door but Jen? Sure enough, it's at Abomination's lodge. It's at his little fucking retreat center. Jen walks in. She's like, Emil? Todd? What the fuck's going on? You know what I mean? And sure enough, she's like, you've been changed into Abomination. I'm your lawyer. Like, I went and defended you and got you out of jail. And what are we doing here? You're like ruining the whole thing I set up for you. You know what I mean? And he's like, no, I only do it for money. He's like,
straight to the point.
Yeah, which I respect.
Yeah.
You got to pay for this fucking beautiful retreat center he's got somehow. This place is huge. I mean, how are you...
It's probably paying him a dumb amount of money,
No kidding. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not sure, but I don't think Bullman and the fucking, the Masquerader there have too much money.
Not exactly bringing in the dough.
Yeah. Fucking fake vampire guy.
Yeah.
Porcupine man. I don't know how much rent they're paying.
Not exactly rallying up the troops.
So, we got to find a way to pay the bills, you know what I'm saying? I get it. I get what he's doing, but obviously no one wants to hear Emil speak. You got to have Obama, you know what I mean? But Nikki and Pug are going to burst on in, and they're going to be like, Jen, we got to get the fuck out of here because Todd's hulking. These guys are Intelligentsia. Like, this is all bad, you know what I mean? We got to get the hell out of here. And sure enough, Todd's going to be like, yo, that guy that you hired, the guy that I hired that you slept with, fucking not only did he put out a sex tape, I got your blood. And we were able to fucking synthesize this shit, and now I'm going to be the fucking Hulk. And sure enough, Jen just, like, breaks the fourth wall again. She's like, what? Like, really? Like, this is where we're going with this finale? Like, you're going to steal my powers?
Yeah.
Guy injects himself, fucking hulks out, which I thought was so funny as hell because as soon as he hulks out, he's just like, just like a meathead, just like, come at me, bro.
Yeah, and it's funny too, like the way Jen, like not only in this scene, but like I feel like the majority of the fourth wall scenes, like the way she's saying it is what I feel like is on the minds of the majority of the viewers watching it. Because I was kind of thinking the same thing too when it was happening. I was like, this is gonna be the finale. Like Todd's gonna turn into like some fake ass Hulk, get his ass beat, and that's just gonna be the end of the series.
Yep.
So like whenever she breaks the fourth wall, especially in this episode,
Spot
she
on.
hits the nail on the head for like the audience that's watching it.
She's going to mention it later on, too, which we'll get to, but she even says, like, kind of exactly what I was thinking. I was like, all right, this is just basically like super soldier serum at this point. I was just like, anybody can
she
just
even mentioned, she
fucking
specifically
take it
says
and
super soldier serum, yeah.
anyone can just inject themselves and become the Hulk at this point kind of a thing.
Yep.
So sure enough, like I said, she's going to break the fourth wall, ask us that, and then sure enough, we have Todd hulking out, we have Abomination acting a fool, Titania blows through the wall, and that's what I think I even looked over at Steph, and I was just like, what the fuck? Yeah. Why is Titania here?
Right, like, all right.
And then fucking Todd's gonna make a move for Jen. Abomination, like we said, didn't seem like he had any idea who he was speaking for. It seems like he still likes Jen and is a fan of Jen over these guys. You know what I'm saying? Because he swoops her right up because she's not She-Hulk right now. She's Jen. Starts kind of just throwing away these stupid little goons, trying to pushing them aside. And then who hops in but the Hulk? Fucking Bruce fucking Banner hops on in. Fucking put my cousin down, asshole. Abomination's like, yo, no, it's not what it looks like. Sure enough, they stop fighting.
Yep.
And then Jen's going to break the fourth wall again and be like, what is going on here? None of these storylines make any sense, like, at all. And she's just like, is this what you guys want from, like, the finale?
This is the acid trip I'm talking about. That would be in the bad direction. You know what I mean?
Right,
like, this is out of control, but in a bad way. Like, there's too much shit going on.
Right, like if this would be the actual finale, it would have just been like,
man.
what the fuck? Like, what is going on?
Yep.
So what you said exactly, it's perfect. She's saying exactly what we're thinking.
Yep.
So this is when things really got to get off the rails. She's like, this is what you guys want. She literally goes, all right, halt, stop the show. And the fucking screen goes to the fucking Disney menu of Marvel on Disney Plus. And I swear to God, at first I grabbed my controller. I was like, what the fuck happened?
I know I'm not the only motherfucker watching this that grabbed his controller.
I did.
And it was like, oh man, I was leaning against it or something. Like, I just like, because if I hit the home, if I just like nudge the controller, the home button hits every time. And it goes right to the main screen. So I'm like, God damn it. And then I grabbed it and I'm like, all of a sudden I see it dangling. And I'm like, what the fuck?
How high were you guys, huh?
I mean, I'm always smoking when I'm watching TV. So I mean, I'm not high, but I mean, right away as soon as it just came up because it was just so fluid. I don't know. I was just like, oh fuck, my bad. But she kind of kicks in right away and she's like, This isn't gonna stop me. You know what I mean? She fucking literally breaks through the inhibitor for fucking She-Hulk, the show, like the little.
You know what would have been cool? The only way it would have been a little bit cooler is if they had like almost like an Easter egg there. You know what I mean?
Oh, that would have been cool.
If it was like, for example, like I don't know, like fucking X-Men '97. You know what I mean? Like if she would have like said something about that and like kicked that out, or like, oh, we're not there yet, or like something
like that.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
a good idea.
That would have been cool if they did that.
That is a good idea. She's gonna bust through her inhibitor. Kind of scrolls through, looking around. She sees Marvel Assembled, which I don't know if you watched those. I've watched like 3 or 4 of them. They're really good. They're like an hour long. It's like the making of. Especially if you just go and watch the ones that you're more into, the things you enjoyed more.
Yeah.
The making ofs. They're really good. They're really well done. They're entertaining. They do them for like Star Wars too, like the Mandalorian and shit. They're really good. But she's gonna bust through the Marvel's Assembled inhibitor, and she's going to literally land herself right in Marvel Studios, friggin' Marvel
trailers,
HQ.
everything. Yeah.
So she's going to stop basically walking through the facility. You see all these people working and shit. She's going to stroll right on over. She finds the writer's room. She busts on into the writer's room. You got this whole gang of writers sitting around the room. Whiteboards up, Post-it notes, all the plot layouts, the whole thing.
This is probably the funniest scene of the whole episode for me.
This whole part was amazing.
I was cracking up.
The whole thing was amazing. Yeah. Yes.
Cracking up.
This specific like back and forth with these people.
Yeah.
This was really good. Basically kind of, guys, what the fuck are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, why are we doing this? Like, what's going on? And they're like going to basically say like, hey, like, this is what Kevin wanted. And she's like, all right, well, let me talk to Kevin. Everybody laughs her out of the room, which is when I started laughing her out of the room too. I was like, ha ha ha, Kevin Feige? You think you're going to get Kevin Feige in a conversation? You're crazy. Good luck with that one.
Oh, the one that cracks me up, I don't know if it's like the very next thing, is when we're like, oh yeah, the writers, we moved on to a new like movie.
Yeah, we're getting there.
And the fucking Wakanda music
plays. Yeah.
Very faintly, the Wakanda music plays.
It's fucking perfect. It's fucking perfect. But the way these people talk about Kevin Feige, or just Kevin,
He's
you don't
God.
know Kevin Feige.
He's
Yeah,
God.
he's God. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No one talks to Kevin.
No.
You say, I would kill you and then myself just so you couldn't get to Kevin.
It'd be like asking for George Lucas. It'd be like busting through and asking to speak to George Lucas. Like, no.
So she's like, all right, you guys are being weird. The way you're talking about him is like he's a god, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna go talk to Kevin. She really just like stomps on out of the room, and we see that she's gonna get to basically like a receptionist desk. She's gonna walk through a little bit of an office, and she gets to a receptionist desk, and she's like, hey, I'm here to talk to Kevin. The secretary's like, okay, just sign this NDA, which I thought again was hilarious, just because you know how everything's so tight knit in this whole. The MCU is the most tight knit thing of all time. So I love that, and you fucking see the NDA. She's like scrolling through 80 pages.
Yeah, it's huge.
You know
It's
what
like
I
a Bible.
mean?
Yeah.
So she's like, all right, whatever. Fucking signs the NDA. As soon as she signs it, the fucking security alarms go off, and she's like, yo, what the fuck? Why did you even have me sign that? He's like, everyone signs the NDA. We see like 4 security guards come bust out. They're going to come for Jen. Easy work for She-Hulk. She's all hulked out right now. She fucking takes these 4 guys. Kind of mangles them up, to be honest.
Yeah,
she
fucks
fucks
them
them all up, dude. Snaps one guy's arm. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
throws a girl into a wall. Smashes another dude's guy into the head. I was smashes a dude's head into the wall. I was like, oh shit. I was like, okay, She-Hulk, I see you,
She wants to
girl.
get to Kevin.
Yeah, for real. So sure enough, that's what she does. She kicks these guys' asses, grabs one of their heads, uses it for like the little eye scanner, typical awesome,
Generic
bad guy
entrance to a bad guy lair. Yeah.
to an evil Kevin Feige lair. And she's going to walk in to the said lair, which is an awesome fucking room. My first thought was, oh my God, I would never leave this place.
Yeah.
Imagine a football Sunday. I'd be like gaming on the main screen. I'd have this huge screen on the right here with football. The left screen would be the red zone. You can watch fucking 50
Same thing,
things
yeah.
at once. You know what I mean?
It's
Awesome
like being in
fucking
Vegas
room.
for March Madness.
Yeah, good call.
Just-
Yes.
People like
Like being at a fucking sports
kid in a
book.
candy store.
It's fucking crazy. And like all the different Marvel movies are playing, which I thought was cool. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, this is fucking cool. Like, what the fuck is going on? Kevin Feige is just going to like walk out and he's just sitting in some evil chair or something like that. Turns out, like we said, creative, original, and hilarious. It is not Kevin Feige. The man is so special he can't even be in his own shows. Kevin is actually an acronym. I didn't write down what it was, but some craziness. Kevin is a robot. He's an AI simulation. He comes floating on down from the ceiling, and the first thing I said, I fucking started dying laughing. I think I even had to pause the show, to be honest. I was laughing so hard. I just looked at Steph, and I was just like, they gave him a metal Kevin Feige hat. I thought it was the funniest fucking thing in the world, dude. Yeah. I was like, that is genius.
The little attention to detail like that is just so fucking funny.
Like, it would have been funny if you just had the robot come down and be like, I'm Kevin, I have an acronym. Funny.
Yeah.
The fact that you give him the hat is so
Yeah.
fucking good, dude. It's so fucking funny, man. I was dying laughing. It was genius. But Jen's like, all right, listen, I got some questions about my show. Kevin, AI Kevin, artificial robot Kevin goes, all right, I'll answer all your questions. I just need you to go from She-Hulk to Jen. And she's like, why? And she's like, because She-Hulk's expensive.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, okay. And then he goes, I also need you to change off camera because changing on camera is expensive.
More expensive.
So just wait for get the camera off for you. The whole time, like I said, I was just dying. This whole thing, I was fucking dying. I thought it was brilliant,
Acid
man.
trip, but in a good way.
Yeah, I thought it was fucking brilliant. It was so funny.
Yep.
So basically, she's gonna go, hey, we who created this elaborate plot for this ending? And he's like, well, this is what we do. We have kind of an algorithm. This is what plans all of our movies. He's like, it's been near perfect so far. She's like, near perfect. He's like, yeah, some are better than others, but we leave that discussion up to the internet.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's fucking great too. I was like, just hysterical.
They know which ones we're talking about. The ones that aren't up to par.
Oh, actually, too, when she changes, that's when they did the Wakanda thing too that you were mentioning.
Oh yeah,
when she changes
the
off
writers
screen,
moved on to
he
another
goes,
project.
yeah, the visual effects people have moved on to another screen and they hit the fucking hysterical. Just hitting every port that the people have poked at, the fucking CGI, everything. But like we said, the artificial intelligence algorithm, it makes all of our decisions and yada yada yada, near perfect results. So Jen's like, all right, listen. Can we at least agree that this is my show? And he's like, no, this is Kevin's show. And she's like, okay, can we at least agree that this is a funny court drama? And he's like, if you want to call it that. And she's like, all right, I'm going to give my closing argument. and kind of says, you do all this, big fucking CGI fights and this big plot moves and all that, and all of your other things, and people have said that all of your things end the same. And he's like, who says that? She just blows right by and just keeps on fucking going. And she goes, that's not what this show's about. This show has been about me. And she's like, the point is that when I finally figured out how to be She-Hulk and Jen, my whole life got turned upside down. That's my ending. You know what I'm saying? And Kevin's like, all right, let me fucking do some computing. All right, let's rewrite this ending. He goes, what do you want to do? First up, she's like, this whole Todd plot line with the blood thing, the super
Get him
serum,
out of here.
Get it out of here. He's like, okay, bang. She goes, Bruce coming in to save my show, She-Hulk? No, get him out of here. And then he starts going, well, he's supposed to be explaining why he wasn't. She's like, nope, save it for the movie.
And is that too, like, dating back to when she's talking about the all the things that they write about and, like, the storylines and stuff? Is that the one where she's like, hey, when are we getting to X-Men? And she, like, looks into the screen.
Yeah, it's like right after this.
Gives the thumb up. Like, yeah,
it's great.
That was so awesome, too.
I heard that was like one of those like just things where she just ran through like 50 lines, and that was like the one that just fucking got played.
Nice.
But she goes, number 3, I want Abomination to hold himself responsible, account for his actions. And then the last thing she goes, well, almost the last thing, she goes, no nighttime, let's do this thing in day sequence. And Kevin's like, all right, we done here? And then she goes, I wouldn't mind some more Daredevil too.
Let's get more of that let's get Matt Murdock back in here. Yeah.
Girl has her needs. And Kevin's like, all right. So Kevin thinks that he's all good. He like just, helped She-Hulk rewrite her ending. All of a sudden she sits down. She goes, well, I'm here. And he's like, oh my God, you're sitting down?
Yeah.
She goes, what's with all the daddy issues? Which I thought was great. She's like, Iron Man, daddy issues. Thor, daddy issues.
true,
Loki,
yeah.
same dad, same issues. Star-Lord, 2 daddies, 2 issues. Yeah. And then that's when she brings up what you just said.
Yeah, when are we getting the X-Men?
Yeah. When are we getting the X-Men? She gives like the little fucking the Hulk to the thumb to the camera. You know what I mean? It was great. It was fucking hilarious. Thoughts for season 2? He said.
I can't disclose that.
He goes, yeah.
Talking about the X-Men, like
I can't disclose that. That's right. Yeah. I can't give away that kind of shit. I'm Kevin. Then she goes, I have thoughts for season 2. And he goes, no. He goes, you're never going to be able to do this again. She's like, what do you mean? She's like, what happened today, the security breach, I've already handled it. It's already been handled. This will never happen again. You just destroyed the season 1 finale. And that's what she goes, that's what Hulks do. Bruce smashes buildings. And then she goes, I smash fourth walls, bad endings, and occasionally Matt Murdock.
Yeah, that's so fucking funny. So hilarious. Yeah.
Fucking amazing. So fucking good. And then right as she leaves, I thought it was hysterical. Kevin's going to get his joke in because she's been hitting him the whole time. She goes for the tease. He goes, all right, see you later. I'll see you on the big screen. She's like, really? No. And then she goes, should I transform like right now or should I like do that? Like, how's the cheapest way to, what should I do? Which I thought was fucking awesome. So from there, we go back to where we were. Now everything's been changed. The whole ending's anew. We're out of meals. We see Todd's going to get arrested. She's going to go handle him in court. She even says so, like, hey, I'll see you in court. Daredevil shows up, just like she asked, late to the party, missed everything, in costume. He's like, Jen, I'm here.
Yeah.
You missed it. He's like, I missed everything?
Yeah.
And then Emil is going to go to prison for 10 years for abomination and Al, basically.
Breach of contract. Yeah.
Breach of contract. And I was just like, oh, really? I was like, that's fucking lame.
Yeah.
I was getting really, I was liking this whole thing. You know what I mean? From there, we're going to go to basically our closing scene. Jen is going to be
the most important, arguably the most important scene.
Yeah, it was
about
crazy.
Just the whole Marvel
huge bomb.
timeline. Yeah.
Huge bomb. Huge bomb. Family cookout. Matt Murdock in attendance. Jen's family all there having a nice little cookout. And they're giving Matt the 10th degree, asking about his law practice, how much money he makes, just intruding on his life any way possible, asking about kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Matt's like, Jesus Christ, I begged this girl one time. My God,
fuck,
can we relax? Which I thought was great. Jen's going to kind of come and save him. And then right after she comes and saves him, who shows up? But Bruce, the Hulk's here. And the Hulk's like, hey, guys, like I wasn't going to tell you about what happened on Sakaar, but first I want to introduce you to my son, Scar. And we see that the Hulk's got a fucking kid.
Yeah, they did him a little. I was reading a little bit into it. They did him a little dirty compared to how he looks. In the comics.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So like a couple of things. So he looks badass in the comics.
Oh, really?
Like he has like long hair. I don't want to say like more like emo looking look, but he looks much more like pissed off. Like this is a very young like version of him. So maybe they'll go into it. And going into like the World War Hulk and all that, I guess the big catalyst for that is the Illuminati.
Oh, no shit.
The Illuminati basically kicks Hulk off of planet Earth
Oh, all right.
and that's how he lands up in Sakaar.
All right. I got you.
So you're gonna get a little bit more, you would think, if they get into World War Hulk about the Illuminati. So we already know they're coming, but like Reed Richards, Professor X.
Sweet.
So it looks like the Illuminati might be back if they're going into a World War, whether it's like a movie like series. Looks like the Illuminati will be involved in it, but they're the reason that he gets kicked off of planet Earth and he ends up there.
All right, I got you. That's interesting.
But his son looks badass in the comics.
Yeah,
like I said, I hope he looks
I'll
a
have to
little bit
look
better
that
by the
up.
time they get to it.
I'll have to look that up for sure. I actually I don't know if you were here that episode that we did it, but I mentioned when they were talking about the World War Hulk movie. It was a few weeks ago already. Now it's been a while, but I had looked up the comic strip, just kind of like the synopsis, and I had mentioned it was like it happens after like the death of his wife and his kid. I was like, I don't think they're gonna do all that in the MCU just because we haven't done any of it to now. It seemed to be weird. You know what I mean? But I was like, you never know. And sure enough, they fucking just drop a kid on us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking here in the finale. I was
You gotta
just
figure.
like,
I mean, Ruffalo, he hasn't had his standalone Hulk movie.
No.
I think the fact that if they do end up with a movie, like I think it's long overdue.
Yeah, you might not have been here that week.
Yeah,
Maybe not.
I don't think so.
Mark Ruffalo literally said, like, whenever they want, just give me the call. I'll be there. Like,
He's
I'm
a
ready to
Marvel
rock.
man, fucking through and through.
Yeah, he loves it. He loves it. I just saw him in a fucking. Actually, I was telling you guys about it, man. But I watched fucking The Addams Project again the other day. That movie's awesome. He's in that too. God, that movie's
I've seen it.
fantastic. Check it out. Him and Ryan Reynolds, and he's back with in this movie. He's with Jennifer Garner again. So it's the same thing from 13 going on 30.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's
beautiful.
on Netflix, right?
It is on Netflix. Yes, it's it's like a Netflix original movie. Yes, yes. Check that out. Free streaming recommendation. Addams Project. Go watch it. But the only thing we're gonna kind of see is like basically the closeout. After we leave that, we see Hulk and his kid. Jen's just gonna head into the courtroom basically, but she is as She-Hulk again, so clearly that whole thing has been lifted. She's back as a lawyer in some capacity, and she's kind of gonna go walking into the courtroom to face Todd and get her justice there. So very good ending for her.
Yep.
Wrapped up nicely, and then we do get our 5th post-credit scene of the season. We hadn't had it in 4 weeks. I've been mentioning it because I was on the lookout for it after the first 4. We get a closeout scene this week, and we see Emil in his prison cell just sitting there chilling, reading a book. And who's going to show up but Wongus?
Yep. Back, baby.
Wongus is back. Fucking Emil's like, dude, what took you so long? And he's like, did you get caught up in a TV show?
And so, it's like Emil knew that he was going to show up eventually. You know what I mean? It was a matter of when.
Not if. Yeah. That's a good point.
Because he was so obviously, I guess he's been in the cell before, so maybe he's used to it. But he
Plus
seemed
he's
like
all
he was
Chino.
way more relaxed, like he knew that this was going to happen eventually.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. It seems like obviously they have somewhat of a pretty decent relationship. Like I said, we already broke him out once for the Shang-Chi bit that we saw in this.
That's what I was going to ask. Is this, in terms of the timeline, is this how... Did we already see him breaking out and being part of the Shang-Chi movie?
Yeah, that was episode 2.
I know we saw that. I didn't know if, so now that he's broken out again, we just think he's going to be still around, and it's just a matter of what capacity.
Yeah,
but
now I think this is almost going to be
Shang-Chi
like
2 or whatever it might
maybe.
be. Yeah.
Shang-Chi 2 is in production. I know that. I did see that.
You know it's going to come out.
Which
So
I'm
yeah,
looking
I didn't know if that if this specific post-credit scene was how he was a part of Shang-Chi, or if it was like we were already past that and like he's broken out again. Now he's going to go back, which I'm all for. I think you're the same way. We're all for.
Oh yeah, I want more Abomination, especially with Tim. I love that Tim Roth is like back. He's great, man. He's so great. I love Tim Roth.
Yep.
I'm a huge Tarantino guy. Obviously, he's in all those, but I think he's awesome. I thought he fucking killed his Abomination in this. He was so funny.
Yeah.
But like we said, I thought that finale was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. Like we said, creative.
Has to trip in such a good way. Yeah, very creative. And like I said earlier, if you pull that off, it gets a big boost for me. So that's what they did with this one.
Yeah, definitely. Overall for the season, what were our final? I mean, like we said, that was a big ending, so that hit real good. I mean,
yeah, I'd probably say 7.2.
7.2,
somewhere around there. I mean, I think the highs were high, the lows were low.
Yep.
This was I think out of the 3 shows, this might have been like the most important like episode in terms of like how I valued the whole entire season.
Yeah.
Like I think it was basically a wash for me up until now because it was kind of half and half. What was good, what was bad.
Yeah.
So there was a lot for me riding on this last episode.
Yeah, it was big.
So I think the fact that they pulled it off and it was so good was it got a huge boost for me.
Yeah, I have it a little bit high. I was tweedling right between a B- and a C+. I ended up landing on a C+.
Yeah.
I went with like a 7.8.
To make this good, to have this be a good finale, and then to like didn't even think they were going to set up something like World War Hulk, which it seems like they are.
Yeah, World War Hulk's coming.
They covered a lot, and it was creative and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Very good final episode from a show that I was kind of, I don't want to say bad mouthing, but criticizing a lot of for the last couple episodes.
Those 3 episodes, 5, 6, and 7, I think we just, even though these episodes were shorter, I think we still could have just done this basically in 6
If you did 4 or 5 episodes, it would be in the 90s for me, I feel like.
Yeah. We mentioned it when we talked about Werewolf by Night last week, and I was saying how I want to see Marvel maybe take more of that approach with these short specials that are, say, like an hour long or even an hour and 15 minutes long, as opposed to a whole season.
Yep.
And I think that instantaneously we saw a post from Marvel saying that they were going to actually basically start doing exactly that.
All for it.
Which I agree. Or even if it's like, say, like a 2-parter. Let's say if you do that, 2 1-hour like features about, for like an origin story. Like you can do that easy and knock it out of the park. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But like I said, we already talked about it, but like a lot of our main heroes that we loved in the original saga, say like Captain America, Iron Man, whoever you want to pick to, their origin story was a 2-hour to 2.5-hour movie.
Yeah.
These people are getting origin stories that are 6 15-minute episodes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's longer.
That is a long fucking time.
No offense to She-Hulk, but they're, I guess it's a bad way to put it, but they're a lesser superhero.
Yeah, right.
Than
They're
Iron
not,
Man,
exactly.
Captain
It's
America.
crazy. It's crazy. But overall, like I said, 7.8 C+ is what I ended up coming away with. I thought it was the whole thing was funny. And none of the episodes none of the episodes, even the ones I didn't really like, I wasn't like sitting there like looking at my watch.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
Like I still laughed a couple times. Like they weren't painful watches. They just weren't very good episodes.
Right.
But
It
overall,
wasn't
the
a
show's
chore
good.
to watch it.
No, right. Exactly. That's a great way to put it. Thank you. That's actually a great way to say what I'm trying to say. Yes. It was never a chore to watch this show, which I definitely started to feel in Moon Knight and a little bit in Miss Marvel.
Yeah. So we're thinking Daredevil next time we see her? You got to figure she's involved in the Daredevil.
I would have to imagine.
Series.
I like these two together too. I like it. I like it a lot.
It's a very funny combination.
I like it a lot. So I hope so. Yeah, I hope she is. I hope she travels out east.
I think that's the next. You got to figure that's the next time that she's got to be involved in it.
Yeah, unless I'm just thinking of maybe there's something before that. But that's already next year, right? That's next fall, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I know it's long.
Yeah, it's 12 episodes.
It's a long.
I think. Oh no, maybe 16.
Yeah, I think it was. I think closer to 16.
I was thinking of Andor as 12.
Yeah.
I think it's 16.
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's good. Hey, I'm interested to watch it. I'm ready for it.
Yep.
Los, would you have a score you want to maybe give She-Hulk for the season?
Yeah, She-Hulk gets a C+ for the season. Slightly
too?
above average. Wasn't bad. Wasn't great. But it was better than anything they put out recently. So for that fact, I enjoyed it. It was creative. It was new. And then, like I said earlier, I think the finale got a B. Salvaged a little bit of the slower episodes in the middle of the season, but it was good. C+ for the season, B for the finale.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. We're all seeing this pretty close there, so.
Yep.
Overall, I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie, and I definitely I liked like her actual character of Jen more than I thought I was ever going into the show itself. Like,
I would agree with you on that too.
Yeah.
Actually, I did like her actual character in human form, which was good. So.
I'm glad to hear that too. Yeah, no, I liked her.
It's kinda
the
like
actress is very likable, man. She's just got this geeky little charming vibe to her. I don't know what it is.
The one I kind of compare it to the most in terms of Marvel would probably be like Ant-Man. Like I think when Ant-Man came out, I didn't have a lot of expectations for Ant-Man.
Yeah.
But the character itself was not only the character itself was awesome, but the sub characters were very good too. They weren't like a forced kind of comic relief down your throat kind of deal. So in terms of like comparing it to prior Marvel stuff, I'd probably say it'd be Ant-Man. Like the character wasn't necessarily the most important,
right?
But the quality of the main character and the sub characters, I think, were like the best comparison to how Ant-Man was.
No, I think that's a great call. I think so. It's the side characters, but definitely the like the star point of both things. I feel like, but then the main characters, their comic relief really helped their roles. So I think that's a great comparison.
Yeah.
And I'm like I said, I'm just looking forward to seeing whether it's in She-Hulk or in She-Hulk in Daredevil or World War Hulk. I'm looking forward to seeing more Jen.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it. I think she's going to be very funny interacting with other characters, and I would love to see if her and Deadpool get on the screen together. Who's going to break the fourth wall?
Is that an eighth wall technically? Yeah. They both break in the fourth wall. Is that like four squared? Is that the 16th wall? How does that work?
Yeah, I can see one of them doing it, and this other one being like, "Yo, what the fuck?" fuck, that's my thing. You
Yeah,
know what I
exactly.
mean?
The screen's like in half.
Yeah. I love that.
Pushing back and forth.
They do the quad box from fucking Sunday from
exactly.
NFL Red Zone. Yep. I love that. But I think that's going to wrap it up for She-Hulk. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. Let's keep it going to the other great finale that we got, huh?
Let's go.
I think I was thinking this whole week. I'm always thinking about what I'm going to title these episodes unless something comes up nice and naturally. You know what I mean? That I can take it. But I think Rings jumped the shark, man. I mean, Rings jumped the dragon. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I think Rings jumped the dragon.
Yep. After I watched the episode, I said Rings was number one. But you know, obviously with how House of Dragon coming up Sunday, obviously had a chance to re-jump it. But the gap separated even more to me. Obviously, we'll get into Rings of Power, but
Yeah.
the gap jumped.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I thought this finale was awesome.
Yeah, and you know I forgot where I saw it, but they hit the nail on the head. Was that the way that this season closed was that it wasn't. It seems like they kind of closed they closed a chapter on a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's no cliffhangers. No anything. Like it was almost like how
the first Fellowship.
How Lord of the Rings was the first movie where it seemed like they kind of closed one chapter. And then I expect next season to be a whole nother. It's like adventure almost, for lack of a better term. So like the way that they closed everything on this and opened up the potential for the second season.
Yeah,
Rings of Power. Well done.
I agree. It's almost like they like you have all your characters just like in the Fellowship, and they have this plot line that they're doing for this movie, and then they wrap it, and then it's like new plot line,
new movie, new adventures,
which
whatever
is
you want.
Exactly.
They killed it.
Yeah, absolutely. I genuinely loved this finale. I ended up loving this show. After I came in here after the first two episodes, and I was like, I wasn't in love with the first two episodes just because I felt like an overload of information.
Yeah.
And just little by little, I liked every bit more and more and more and more. And then obviously episode 6 was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And then last week, I thought was really good. Different kind of episode from 6, but I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
And then this episode I thought was just fucking perfect.
I was talking to my cousin about it. I said, like, dude, like Rings of Power has jumped way over House of Dragon for me. And he was like, yeah, I watched the first like 2 episodes, couldn't really get into it. And I was like, I understand that, but if you keep going, the payoff
is so
much better than the just like bailing after 2 episodes.
Yep.
Like if you keep going through it, it was well done.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I honestly thought, especially that first episode, I thought it was I said it put me in fucking sensory overload, dude. My brain was like, and I watched so much shit.
That
constantly.
almost felt more like
whoa.
It wasn't like a full blown chore, but that first or even the second episode felt it was like a chore almost to do, like to make sure that you gathered
many fucking people and places, and you didn't know any of it. And we're thinking going into it, you're gonna have some some baseline because we've watched Lord of the Rings. I've watched the first 2 Hobbit movies, which I wish I hadn't, but I have.
But it hits the ground running, it goes.
Yeah. Low's thoughts on the finale for this one?
Finale was excellent. Show was excellent. Give an A to both.
Hey, love that.
Both of them.
Love that. Let's dive in then. We got episode 8, Alloyed. So right away I was kind of like, what the fuck? I'm thinking of metals right away. I'm like, all right, what are we going to be doing here? But we're going to open up. We're going to see that the stranger is traveling on his own. He was given the instructions by Sadoc on where to head. He's following the stars. And he's looking at his little apple that Nori gave him. The only goodbye he got last week, which I talked about, was just depressing in my eyes because he deserved so much more. Yep. But he's just, fondly thinking on this apple. And then he's going to go and kind of drop it. And as he drops it, he sees that someone's kind of watching him. It looks like a little fucking...
Little Russell.
Yeah, like a little fucking Houdini in the bushes. You know what I'm saying? Houdini!
There's a Jawa in the fucking... Wait, what? Get out of here, Jawa.
But he's gonna go, following over, grab his apple, and try to find who this little person that's following him is. And he's gonna, eventually come across both. And it looks like Nori. Nori looks all cloaked up. Basically, she's got the apple now. And all of a sudden, we quickly realize as she starts kind of, it ain't Nori. It's that cult dude.
Gore looking dude.
Yeah. And he apparently has the ability to like shapeshift his body. And I was like, oh fuck, that's a neat little fucking trick. His 2 other followers, I don't know if he's the lead. I actually didn't think he was at first, but now I'm kind of getting the idea that he might be.
Yeah.
The other 2 come over, and I'm like, oh fuck, this is not looking good for the stranger at all. And then all 3 are kind of like, yo, bending the knee, sort of. Bending the knee, and they're like, yo, we're here to serve you. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then they go,
And this is when I started leaning forward, and I was like,
Yeah.
say it. Say it, motherfuckers.
you're like, Damon,
Do it. Yeah, just do it.
and they go, Lord Sauron. And I was just like, no. I was watching it at, like, it must have been 8:15 in the morning on Saturday. And the first thing I did was pause the show. I texted Seth and my buddy Ledoux, who you guys all know very well from the podcast. We have a little group text going. I texted the two of them, and I'm just like, they fucking did my boy more dirty.
Yeah.
We've already been doing him dirty, and now we're turning him into Sauron. I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm turning tide. I'm going to the dark side. Fuck these little hobbits for being so mean to my guy. The Acolytes people, these cult guys, they look cool, so I'm in.
Yeah.
I had completely gone turncoat.
Yep. For them to drop a nuke like that 2 minutes into the episode, dude,
Yeah.
it's that, and then it's theme song. So like,
Yeah,
I
that's
love the
right.
way they do that. You almost
Was that the
have
first
a
time they did
second-
that? Like
I
showed us
think it
something
was.
before the
Yeah, it
theme
definitely
song?
was. Yep.
I think so.
Yeah, because I remember I used to just skip the recap and the recap and then theme song because I knew it was just going to be those two back to back.
You
And I was
absolutely-
about to
yep.
do it again. I was about to get ready to hit OK because I knew it was going to be skip intro, and then they got into it and I was like, oh. And then, like I said, the way they did it to drop a bomb like that, and then you kind of got a minute to compose what you just heard because you got the theme song playing. Like,
Good call. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I
chef's
didn't even
kiss,
think of
job
that. Chef's
well
kiss is
done.
right, yeah.
Absolutely job well done.
That was a huge drop. I mean, we thought we were going to get a Sauron reveal.
To
I
do
just
that
didn't
in
think
a
it was
finale,
fucking medium,
you know what I
man.
mean? Like, to do that in the finale, 2 minutes
Yeah.
in, that's when you know, like,
We got shit.
oh, here we
We're
go.
going.
dude.
Yeah, we're going,
Yeah,
baby. We're
here-
going.
Here
Let's
we
go.
go.
So we're going to go from there, and we're going to see that Galadriel and Halbrand are arriving at Lindor. They need, Halbrand desperately needs some fucking medicine. Elrond and Celebrimbor are having a little conversation already inside, and basically Elrond's just kind of giving them the bad news, like, yo, King Durin shut us down, like, no Mithril, we're going to have to bounce the fuck out of here. So Galadriel, Halbrand, they're going to ride on in. Hey, Halbrand's in bad shape. We fucking rode like 6 days straight. Can you help him out? And then he's going to also mention, or she's going to also mention that he is the king of the Southlands. And Elrond's kind of like, huh? Like, oh, okay, cool. And then, Elrond's going to be like, so basically, like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing here kind of thing? Like, I thought you were going away on the ship. Galadriel's going to explain why. She said she didn't basically feel like she had earned it, which feels right to her. You know what I
Respect.
mean? You know what I mean? Especially because she was right. She was the whole time she was saying like I haven't vanquished my foe. Like that's what my task is.
Yeah.
Which is we've mentioned how you get back into Lindor is if you're an elf is to succeed in whatever task you're given.
Yep.
If she didn't feel like she didn't complete it, which she didn't complete it, she's spot on. Everything was right.
Yeah, it's accurate to the character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what Elrond basically says. He was like, yo, my bad. Like, I should have fucking
right.
trusted you.
He's
Yeah,
like,
I
all
should have
right.
trusted you. Never going to happen again kind of a thing. And from there, we're going to go to Celebrimbor's little, like, workshop, basically. His little workshop factory. He's kind of doing his own thing. Halbrand wakes up. Got some medicine in him. He's feeling a little better. He's going to stroll on in. And he's going to be like, yo, like, where the fuck am I kind of a thing? And he's going to be like, you're in Celebrimbor's workshop. And he's like, oh, wow, like, is Celebrimbor here? Like, I fucking never thought I'd get the chance to, meet him or see his place. And Celebrimbor's like, what's up?
I am. I am him. What's going on?
What's going on? You know what I'm saying? And Halbrand, obviously, it seems like he's met one of his heroes kind of a thing, all excited. Starts looking around the shop, sees these 3 very bright stones, red, blue, and white, kind of just chilling on the table. He's like, yo, what? These things look pretty cool. Then he's going to see the Mithril rock, the one that Prince Durin gave to Elrond. And he's going to be like, yo, like, what's the deal with this? And basically, Celebrimbor says, it's not enough. So Halbrand right away just goes like, not even knowing what it's for or how much they need or anything, just goes like, all right, well, like, have you tried combining it with other metals? Celebrimbor's like, nah, you can't do that shit with this. You're going to, like, fucking ruin the strength of it, basically. And he's just like, well, how about we fucking use it with the right metals, alloy it, fucking make it stronger, make it better. Celebrimbor's like, brain blast,
Son of
like
a
Jimmy
bitch.
Neutron, dude.
You
Like,
son of a
what? I ain't never thought of it like that before. He goes, that just might work, though. And, like, right away, you can see Celebrimbor's kind of taken away a little bit by this guy. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
this regular man strolling on into his place. He's all cut up. He just healed them. Now he's walking into his freaking workshop, and he's just like, all right, what the fuck? This guy,
Yeah.
he knows who he is, too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're almost supposed to be like, how do you know that?
Yeah.
Like, doesn't want to ask it.
What I think he said, he mentioned something along the lines of where he grew up. He said metals were scarce, so they basically he learned how to make the most of the little that he got.
That's what he's got. Yeah.
Which makes sense. Basically, that's what you're gonna do with any whatever it's food, water, metals, fucking whatever. You know what I mean? So I get it. Obviously, it doesn't seem that Southland's doing too good too after this whole Morgoth thing. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, whatever. Fucking Hallbrand. And from there, we're gonna go to Numenor, and we're gonna see that Pharazôn is preparing the tomb for the king, even though he's not dead yet. Basically saying he's gonna make like the greatest tomb of all time. He brought in all these fucking different like artists and sculptors to basically have their time to try and do the best tomb that they can do, draw up a sketch kind of a thing. And one of the people that he chose was Isildur's sister. So Isildur's sister's taking her time with the king. She's sketching and shit. And then all of a sudden, while she's fucking sketching him out, the fucking king's gonna just like snap out of his fucking sleep, which startled me. I was like, oh shit, you look dead.
Yeah, right.
It's reminded me of fucking, actually, now I just said a scream. It's just like, he still does, man.
Yeah. He's kind of like how Viserys is right now. You know what I mean? Like, they know that time. They know his time's coming. He's still kind of half and half. Yeah. right. This is true. He does have 2 eyes. But like everybody kind of knows his time's coming, and the king is still half and half. You know, sometimes he's with it, sometimes he's not. Definitely.
But he's going to start kind of blabbering away, and he's like, the old ways aren't restored, our island will fall. So I was just like, well, we've been talking about this a lot with this whole Numenor thing, you know what I mean? That's why she sent Galadriel away, and then ended up not sending her away because the leaves ended up falling and all that, because we already saw the demise in the Palantir. I'm like, so we like really gotta, we already went to Middle Earth for the elves. Like, how much like more can we do? I'm kind of confused a little bit. So I'm like, something's got to be going right. And even the queen so far has been saying like, we're going to Numenor right now, but we're coming back. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of like, all right, what do you mean, king? You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. Like, we're doing that. You know what I'm saying? And then Isildur's sister's gonna go basically like running for help. Basically like, hey yo, someone, handmaid, somebody come help me. The king's awake, kind of a thing. She's gonna like go back to the bed, and the fucking king's like up and out of bed. I was just like, "Oh, where'd he go?" You're like looking for the old
He's
guy.
Fully in there, yeah. He's fully back now.
Just fucking sneaking off and shit. Reminded me of like Grandpa Joe and fucking
he got up. Yeah, all of a sudden,
Chocolate Factory.
These fake ass old men, where all of a sudden they just get a little bit of burst of energy, and they cheating the system, and then they're able to get up now.
For real. Like I said, Grandpa Joe, big time Grandpa Joe vibes. He's going to open up like a secret door for Isildur's sister, which is, I didn't realize it was a secret door the first time we saw her, because we just see, I think it's the queen and who was it, Elendil or Galadriel? One of them, they went already up. Galadriel. They went up here before. But we didn't see that was like a secret door. We just saw them going up the stairs, you know what I'm saying? But all of a sudden he kind of revealed it. He was like, go up, fucking take a look. Don't look for too long. Yeah, don't look for too long. He's like, I looked for too long, and what was and what is and what could, I got them all mixed up, kind of a thing.
You sure you're just not old? Are you sure you're just not an old man?
yeah, for real. But Isildur's sister, we don't see. That's actually how her whole thing ends. Fresh, I think about it for the season. We don't go back to her at all. Yeah. But she's gonna go up there to see the Palantir, and we have no idea. That's just like I said. That's her end mark for the season.
Yeah, sure.
So that's interesting, especially because we know to this point she's been very like anti-elf. She's like old, like this new school Numenor, kind of keep the elves out, all about the people, the men, kind of thing.
Seems like she's one of the characters due for a much bigger role in the second season.
I can see that.
Or going forward.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see her being a lot more involved.
Yeah, maybe, especially if maybe she like if maybe she goes and sees something from the Palantir, and maybe like she has some turn of a tide in her head, and she kind of fights from inside Numenor, because I think these people that are going to return, they're going to have a hard time returning. I'm not going to lie.
Yep.
From there, we are going to see that in Lindon, Elrond, Galadriel, Celebrimbor are going to explain to Gil-galad basically the situation that they're in. Like, hey, we couldn't get more mithril from Prince Durin. Bad. But we do have this great idea to take the mithril based off of what Hallbrand. Yeah. We can take the mithril we have, stretch it out with some other metals, and we can basically create an object that'll be powerful enough to like relight the light for the elves so that we can live. So they're like, what the fuck are we gonna do? A sword, a scepter, a crown. All right, word. Gil-galad, he's like, nah, we don't have enough time. We're fucking literally running out of time. The tree's bleeding leaves. We got to get the fuck out of here. And they're like, listen, we got this great plan. We need a little bit of time to, pull it into fruition. And we can make this whole thing work. We don't have to leave here. You know what I mean? This is going to be a power from the unseen world. Not of the flesh, but above the flesh. Something that we've already heard in this show before. Mm-hmm. Gil-galad, hey, sorry. We got to return home. Doesn't matter. We got to bounce. Galadriel, though, she's going to stick around for a second after Gil-galad and Elrond are going to leave. And she's going to be kind of like, yo, where did you hear that? Above the flesh? I mean, of the flesh, above the flesh? Like, where did you hear that from? And Celebrimbor, actually, like you kind of saying, old guy symptoms here. Just kind of like, oh, I don't know. I think it was with one of my workers in my workshop. Actually, no, you know what? I think I said it. I'm just like, and she even goes, have you been with Halbrand? And then he goes, it doesn't matter. We have to leave anyway. I'm just like,
Yeah, that was definitely a
interesting.
wait a minute kind of deal. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of like,
Makes your head tilt a little bit.
yeah.
Huh.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me see you do a double take. And
Back pocket that one. They only put that in the back of the mind.
Yeah, for real. But very suspicious, kind of. At least Galadriel is very suspicious. We're gonna see that when Gil-galad left, Elrond's gonna kind of go basically chase him down and make a last plea. He says, "Hey, I need like 3 months. I think I've earned this." And he's like, "You've earned nothing." And then Elrond's like, "Well, let's do it for hope then." And he's like, "No, there's no hope." He
Like,
quotes
damn,
him
bro.
right back at him, though. Throws his own quote from a recent meeting, it seems like, or some shit like that. As soon as Gil-galad's like, oh, you were paying attention to me? You heard those words? Like, all right, y'all can stay. You were listening? I didn't think anyone was listening to that bitch. You heard me? All right, word. You know what? I changed my mind.
I
Y'all
think
can
anybody
stick
was
around.
paying attention.
Yeah, for real. That's exactly like the vibe I got. So, we got the time that we need, which I heard, at first you get Celebrimbor like making this plea, like we only need a little bit of time, like we finally have the idea, we know what we're gonna do. I'm thinking like a little bit of time, a couple days, a week, 3 months. It's a long time.
Yeah. Let's get going. Like,
That's 3 months is a long time.
Yeah.
If the tree's bleeding leaves, we could be dead in a month. I mean, I don't know how long, like, you know what I mean?
we gotta go.
For real, we gotta go. You know what I mean? I was like, Jesus, 3 months, but all right, whatever. We got the time we need. They are elves after all, so who knows? We're going to see Celebrimbor and Halbrand. They're going to start basically, working together. They're going to be in the factory creating this crown for Gil-galad to try and save the elves. And Galadriel is going to call in what seems like a bookkeeper or like a librarian or, you know what I mean, some guy that holds a lot of artifacts, like a maester almost.
Yeah. I just said like Samuel fucking Tarly.
Yeah, very much that kind of vibe. And she's like, hey, like I need to know all the scrolls that we got on the history of the Southlands. And he's like, well, that's going to take me a minute. And she's like, all right, go ahead. Take your time.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Just don't tell anybody. So now we're like, all right. We just had a little bit of Galadriel suspect. Now Galadriel is hella suspect. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right.
Show me the archives.
Yeah. She's up to something. You know what I mean? And then Halbrand's going to come up to her and have a nice little hot real quick. He's basically, never thought I'd be in a place like this working with the famous Celebrimbor. Wouldn't be if it wasn't for you. You saved my life. You lift me up when, I was down kind of a thing. And
You raised me up.
Yeah, for real. But I was like, oh, shit. I was just like, I was already getting the vibe a little bit that Halbrand was feeling Galadriel and maybe Galadriel was feeling Halbrand. But it seems like Halbrand really got his life saved, you know what I mean? Got that elvish medicine from her and all that. Maybe would have died otherwise. It seems like he might be ready to...
Risking it all.
Yeah, risking it. Exactly. I like that. Risking it all.
Risk it all.
From there, we're going to go to, I would say, I think probably my favorite scene of the episode. This scene was a banger. We are going to go back to where we opened. Before the credits, like we mentioned, the cult, they have the stranger. And they're basically telling the stranger a little bit about himself. They're like, hey, your strength, your memory, all that shit's going to return. You got like a veil basically over you right now, but it's going to fade as time goes. And the stars are leading you to Rune, which is where they're from. Which I was just like, huh? I don't know what that place is. So I quickly did a quick little Google search. And the only tie to Lord of the Rings that I could kind of find is, the army of men that fight for Sauron? They come on on elephants.
Yep.
They fight in the battle outside of Gondor.
Yep.
All those guys, they're all from Rune.
Okay.
So all those weird armored kind of guys, that's Rune. That's all.
Like a weird center place.
It's not too far from Mordor. It's kind of like right above Mordor, sort of right above, a little bit to the right though. It's real east.
Okay.
But basically, they kind of tell him like, "Hey, that's where you got to go. You're gonna come with us. That's where you're gonna be able to really like take it up a level. You can be the fucking master of all the elements, like earth, wind, fire, all that. You can be the master of that. You can be the master of all these people. You fucking rule them and all that." And I was fucking really sad right about now because, like I said, I was like, I'm a Meteor Man guy, and I don't like any of this. He's gonna be mean. I don't. Whatever. Like I said, I turned tides, so now I'm team bad guy. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And Sauron. Yeah, no, Sauron, quote unquote, stranger Sauron. He's gonna get up. He's gonna start using these powers. Basically, that they told him about the earth wind. He starts creating kind of like a storm. Starts getting windy as shit. The cult leader's like, all right, let's chill out here. They put him to sleep. They're like, let's bind him until we get the fucking room. So I'm like, again, disrespect. Yeah. This is your master. Why are we binding him and putting him to sleep? He's not some old lady.
True.
What are we doing here?
Yep.
So as we put him to sleep, they stop binding him. We hear like a strange noise, a little rustle in the fucking bushes. And we're like, oh, what the fuck was that? Two of the three cult leaders go fucking sneaking off to, kind of just like figure out what the noise is. And who is it but the goddamn Harfoots? The Harfoots are here. Sadoc, Lori, Poppy, Nori's mom. They've come. They've said they were going to help the stranger, and they're here to help. They see that one of the members of the cult is basically kind of drifted off. Two of them came out looking for them. So they're like, all right, this is the perfect time to strike. This other guy, who knows where the fuck he went, they're looking for us.
I don't know if it's their accent or what, but they make me like giggle the whole time.
Oh, I love them. Yeah, they're great.
Like the same thing. They're like, oh yeah, two is less than three or something like that. You know what I mean? Like something
yeah.
Just the way that they talk
simple.
is just hilarious.
So simple. I love them. Which I don't give a fuck. Even in Lord of the Rings, like I love the Hobbits. Like I fucking love them. They crack me up, dude. Even like that's why I love the Fellowship of the Ring so much. Some people complain that it's not like as much action as the other ones. That opening hour and a half of the Fellowship of the Ring is fucking awesome. Yeah. Like I love it. It's amazing. Yeah. I love it. You can't tell me otherwise. But the Harfoots are gonna fucking make their move. You know what I mean? Like I said, they got two guys out chasing them. The other one's fucking doing who knows what. Let's move in. Nori starts fucking cutting the binds on the stranger. Turns out, same thing as earlier. It ain't the stranger. He did his little fucking tricksy daisy again. It's the fucking cult leader. Should have known. Should have known. I didn't see it coming. They got me twice. I'm not gonna lie. Nori's like fucking. Oh shit! She's gonna like dart off to escape. Sadoc jumps out of like a bush and he's like, nah, run, Brandyfoot, run, Brandyfoot. He just like grabs the guy with like his fucking leg. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, a fucking throwing knife, fucking like it's James Bond, fucking Oddjob throwing his hat, fucking throwing knife comes out of nowhere, catches Sadoc. I'm like, oh no! Sadoc.
Who throws a shoe?
Who throws a shoe? Honestly. Sadoc gets hit with a fucking throwing knife. I'm like, oh shit. The cult grabs Nori. They're about to fucking kill Nori. Stranger, real stranger, wakes up. He's rising that fucking storm again, though. He's doing the earth and element trick he was just doing, causing havoc, like a hurricane, basically. He fucking, I don't even know, magical wave, I guess. Yeah. Fucking sound wave. Two of the cult guys go flying. But that main dog with that stick, though, he ain't fucking going nowhere. He fucking is like, all right, you want to have a magic showdown? Let's do it, bro. And he fucking uses his force powers and slams fucking the dude right into a rock. Just fucks him up real quick. So I was like, oh, shit. This is not good.
It's on.
Yeah, no shit. This is bad. We see that the other two cult members that are fucking gotten thrown down, they basically pop back up. They go chasing down. They grab Poppy. Sadoc, though, before he's going to die, he's got one more move in him as the two people, the other two, whatever you want to call them, the other two cult members, they got Poppy. He fucking pops in a bush, stabs one right in the fucking foot. Hell yeah, Sadoc. Yep. Hell yeah. Fucking Poppy able to be like, run off and be saved.
Even this one, just the way he talks, it just makes me laugh. He's like, I think I'll just rest here for a while.
It's fucking great. Oh, I love that part. I love that shit.
It's just fucking.
I love that
shit. Even though he's dying, it's kind of sad, but.
Oh, it was, yeah.
Their accents, I don't know, they just crack me up. It's like the perfect accent for a halfling.
Yeah.
I think I'll just rest here for a while. They're like,
no. We go back to the main guy, the main cult leader. I don't even know what to call these guys. They're all just cult people to me. But he's still baiting down the stranger. And all of a sudden, fucking bang, bang, bang. Dude gets pelted with a few fucking rocks. Poppy is able to pop up now that Sadoc saved her. Hits this dude with a couple rocks. He drops his shaft. Nori, being a little sneak in the bushes like a little snake, comes sneaking in, grabs the shaft. She fucking pops on out of there. So now we got the freaking dude's shaft. I was like, all right, word. This is pretty good. Now the guy doesn't have his fucking shaft though. What's he gonna do? He goes into the flames, grabs the fire, and just starts like blowing flames all over the place. Sets the whole fucking forest ablaze. I was like, oh shit, this is intense.
Probably should have done that at the beginning, to be honest. Lose the staff.
Yeah, no shit.
Just do that at the beginning. It seemed like a lot more powerful without the staff.
Fucking forest fire to the like highest degree though. My God. I mean, my Lord, just relentless with it too, just blowing it all over the place. No care for anything. But the stranger's gonna basically he's still laying on the ground. That's when Nori actually comes over. This guy's blowing the fire around. Nori comes over with the shaft to fucking the stranger, and she's like, yo, you're a good guy. And he's just like, I don't know. They're telling me I'm not a good guy. And she's like, bro, you're here to help. It's based on what you want to do. And he's just like, all right, word.
Take this.
Fucking A. Grabs the fucking shaft and fucking makes, pretty quick work of fucking the fire. Takes care of that other fucking dude. What does he say? Like, from the shadows you came, from the fucking shadows I return you to.
Yeah.
It looks like they turn into like the ring wraith. Like,
I was thinking the Army of the Dead. Like they kind of look look like the Army of the Dead.
Yeah, actually, that's a good call too from the third one. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yep.
That's a good call. That's a good call. Go that way. That's a great call. But like right away, I
the
was
way
like,
you said it too was almost like when Gandalf's facing the Balrog dude, he's like, go back to the shadows. You know what I mean? Like he says another. It's not. He didn't exactly say go back to the shadows, but it was kind of the same exact thing. So you're like, okay,
ladies and gentlemen, that's a great call. I did not think of that one at all.
Yeah.
That is a great one. It's very similar.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying. It's not like the same exact thing.
It has to do with the shadows too.
It does. Yeah.
Balrog go back to
from the shadows. From the shadows you came to the shadows. I summoned you to return or something like that. But the three of them, I was, even though they're bad guys and shit, I was like, all right, these guys are kind of fucking cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as they're fucking about to get like fucking basically like zonked out by fucking the stranger, they're like, yo, like he ain't Sauron. It's the other one. And I wrote it down. What was the word they call him? The Istar. He isn't Sauron. He's the Istar. And I was just like, But yeah, new. But we're gonna find out what it means later on. But I was just like, all right, word. So I was like, he ain't the stranger. I mean, he ain't Sauron. I was like, hell yeah. I was like, let's go.
Yep.
I was disappointed by the beginning, but this really turned it around for me. Like, let's go back on the good guy train.
Back on the good guy train, and then also the wheels start turning as like, all right, well, who is then?
Right.
So yeah, right back in a positive direction.
My biggest concern, I was just like, all right, we ain't Sauron. Good. Medium man, back to being, well, he already was my guy regardless, but now he's back to being on the good side of things. Like, I like this. It's like, we're not going to become Sauron now, are we? I mean, Saruman now.
Right, yeah.
I know I mentioned that earlier about
the next question is, who is who is this guy? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you're right back to the beginning of the episode, basically. You have no idea who's who.
Yeah, back to the stranger. Back to being Medium man. But that was fucking awesome. He fucking just whipped those guys' asses. I didn't think they were going to be dead, but then, like I said, after they turned into the, whatever you want to call them, like that ghost spiritualized version of themselves, where they were like, ring race or the Army of the Dead, they like got like evaporate, like torn up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they're dead.
Straight up disintegrated. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think they're coming back anytime.
Yeah, I don't think so. Which I was like, oh shit! Like, I haven't seen magic used much to kill people in Lord of the Rings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Usually it's a sword and shit. Like even Gandalf still swings a sword even with his shaft.
Right.
And then actually, like you mentioned, we're gonna, before we leave this scene, which was an awesome scene, like I said, probably the best one of the episode, we're gonna go back to our little gang of Hartfoots, and we see that, like I mentioned, Sadok got hit with a throwing blade. He's not doing very good. They're like, hey, we'll carry you back. We'll get you the medicine you need. And Sadok's just like, nah,
nope.
Sorry guys, my time has come.
I think I'll just stay here for a while.
Yeah, I'll watch the sun come up.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
I don't know, the accent makes
fucking great. I love it, man. I fucking love it. But I thought that was a great, like you said, it was kind of, I thought it definitely was sad. I thought it was fucking very sad. Yeah. Tugged at the heartstrings a little bit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But I thought it was great. It was beautiful. You know what
I
mean?
Like he sees his wife too or something like that.
He says, he'll see his wife again. Yeah. Which has got to mean that I would imagine that he must have had a wife previous, because he's got a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know if that's his, I don't know. But it seemed like he
kind of
had...
Viserys thing, you know what I mean? The light at the end of the tunnel, and
maybe, his, actually,
his true love kind of deal.
I think that's exactly what it was. I think that's a fucking spot on call. because we obviously have already seen his current woman a few times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She was saved by the stranger herself, actually, by the wolves there. So I guess Sadek must have had a previous arrangement. But that was an awesome scene, like I said. I love that fucking scene. I thought that whole thing was cool. The hurricane winds and shit looked fucking sick.
Yep.
The fire, everything looked sick. This whole show's always looked awesome. We've said that constantly.
The way the three, whatever you want to call them.
Like the cult guys?
The way that they died too, like it looked awesome.
Yeah, it looked sick. Yeah. Even like, it looked like, to me, it looked like the ring race. You know what I'm saying? When like, say like Frodo puts on the ring. But it looked like they were like, way like better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like better detailed and shit like that. Like it popped more and stuff.
Yeah, you tell Bezos dished out a couple more shells for that one than they did in the original.
Definitely. Get on in there, producer. Oh, shit. There you go. There you go now, son. All right. So, we leave there, and we're going to see that the Numenorians that were at Middle-earth, that were fighting with Galadriel, are about to arrive home. They're at sea, but they're getting pretty damn close. The queen's working on her new life as being a member of the blind community, basically. She's, like, counting her steps and trying to learn the ship and shit like that. Elendil's going to come on down, help her out a little bit. Queen's going to basically say that you can resign from your position because, obviously he's sad as shit. He seems salty that Isildur passed, which we know he didn't, which we haven't seen. We didn't see Isildur this whole episode, so they just kind of like left him in the wind. I don't know if it's because we know he doesn't die or what have you.
So he's out there somewhere.
Right, we'll see him obviously in season 2.
Yeah.
Which I did, me, you, and Ledoux, I think, talked about it, but I actually read today that it's planned for 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Planned for 5.
Did they say season 2? When?
It just started production, so probably 24.
No,
I would imagine.
Damn.
No, they'll probably pump that out next year if it's already being produced.
It's being filmed right now. You figure it's going to take,
Nowadays they say 6 months to produce that and edit it. I don't know. Maybe I'm being optimistic.
Yeah, I think you're looking at 24.
Nowadays, with how competitive all the shows are, though, I imagine they got to be trying to pump it out as fast as possible.
Yeah, but I mean, depending on what it depends on what it is too. But I mean, right now it's already October of 22, and that was the finale. So I mean, 24 is a year and a half away. It's not that long.
Yeah, very true.
Film and do the entire fucking background work and all that, the cuts, the edits, the CGI, the cleanups, all that shit.
Yeah, it doesn't really, not really saying anything out of here.
Yeah, I'd say 24.
It's unlikely.
Honestly, I feel like that's trying to be.
It's unlikely we'll see the Rings of Power season 2 on our screens before the first quarter of 2024.
Yeah,
at the earliest.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was thinking about.
Come on, Bezos.
I was thinking about like we started in August. Oh no, September, right? The first week of September 3rd.
The ground football started early.
I was thinking like almost exactly like 2 years to that date. I would say that we would have been back.
Sad.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? We'll have plenty to get to.
Anyways,
it flies by. We have plenty to cover. But like I was saying, so she says basically, you can resign from your position because sad, Isildur's dead, kind of a thing. And Elendil's like, I know I've been salty basically, but my name doesn't just mean friend of the stars; it does mean friend of the elves, and that's actually the truth. I fucking saved Galadriel. I am a friend of the fucking elves, and I'm gonna be back in this. You know what I mean? Like. I'm just a little salty because my kid died, which is
understandable.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Not terribly ridiculous. And right after this, they're gonna kind of get notified from the top deck. Hey, Numenor's in sight. So they're like, all right, cool. Let's go up, top deck. Let's go check it out. And as they arrive into the bay, the queen's like, all right, how's everything looking, kind of a thing. And Elendil is just like looking, and he's like dead quiet. And we're like, as the audience, along with the queen, we're like, oh fuck, like what's going on? And then we see that the entire bay is just filled with black flags. So it seems that things have changed since we've left, which I can't imagine they've changed for the better.
No. Black flag's usually not a good thing.
Typically a bad thing.
Yep.
And then we're going to also quickly see that the king is officially dead now. And Pharazon's just kind of overlooking his body, but the king, very dead. I don't know if that's maybe why the black flags are posted, or if Pharazon's flag is black and he's claimed control. Yeah. But I
kind of think the latter.
Either way, bad. Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's very. I think you might be right Because it did seem like there was like a logo on it. Very Game of Thronesy almost. Like a house logo kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying?
You think they would almost like, you know, if it's like how it is in, you know, Game of Thrones, obviously completely different world, but like they would think if the king died, like ring the bells or something like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it wouldn't
yeah.
be like a whole new flag, but obviously it could be entirely different.
Yeah, I don't know, but clearly we know based off of Elendil's expression and reaction that it's not good.
No,
It's not good for us. You know what I mean? We're going to leave them. I believe that's the last time that we see them this season, too, I believe. Pretty sure.
Yeah, so that's another one you got to think, you know, season 2 is starting to be the aftermath of the king being dead.
Yeah.
Who's in charge? You know what I mean? I think that's a good way to pick up on season 2.
Yep. Them returning to Numenor, the queen being blind, possibly Pharazôn.
That'll be one of the stories that
charge.
they're mixing around, because it seems like that, you know, this one they did tie up a little bit of loose ends with like the sub stories, but I think they focused on the majority of the 2 big stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think they wanted to create that divide, obviously, between the 2 sides of Numenor.
They also wanted to show that you're going to have that side story in season 2 of like what's the aftermath of the king.
Yeah.
The king being dead.
Yeah. Definitely a lot to work out there still before. We know Numenor is going to fucking go at some point.
Yeah. Matter of when.
Whether it's a matter of what season, but we know it's going.
Yeah.
Whether it's a matter of time. Back in Linden, work is still ongoing. We find out that things aren't quite going to plan. The Mithril will not forge with the other metals as we were hoping that it would. Galadriel suggests...
Did it blow up or something like that?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of smoke. Yeah,
I almost thought somebody died when it blew up. I was like, oh no!
Yeah,
Like,
it looked like things were going real bad. Real bad. A lot of smoke. Fucking... Like I said, Galadriel's like, all right, maybe we're just like working too hard. And then Halbrand's just like, here's that. And again, Jimmy Neutron like brain blast, just like, maybe we're working too hard. Like, what? He's like, maybe we're fucking not supposed to be pounding the metals into one another, like forcing them to fucking bend with one another. But maybe we should be trying to more like ease
Naturally
the 2 of them
combine.
together. Right, yeah. Like ease them together. And sure enough, again, for the second time this episode, Celebrimbor is kind of like blown away by Halbrand's like fucking brain. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, that is genius. If that's the case, we've been doing this whole thing fucking wrong from Jump Street.
Yep.
Let's start all over. Like, let's get to work. You know what I mean? So like, all right, cool. Everything seems good now. And then the bookkeeper's going to show up that we mentioned earlier. The bookkeeper, librarian, kind of elf, maester guy. He's going to show up, and he's got his scrolls for Galadriel. So Galadriel's going to take them, and best to be out of the sight of Halbrand. So she's going to...
for that matter.
Yep, true. Probably doesn't want anyone to see it. She's going to head on down to the stream and basically start fucking reading these scrolls. And she's going to find out that the true king of the Southlands can't be Halbrand because the last true heir to the king of the Southlands died over 1,000 years ago.
That's quite the gap.
Problematic.
It's quite
Problematic.
That's not just a recent thing.
Problematic. So Halbrand's going to come scrolling on down to the stream, and he's going to be like, hey, so turns out the problem, too much power for one object. So we're not doing a crown anymore. We're going to be making 2 of these fucking things.
She's like, shut the fuck up.
Exactly. Yep.
Shut up.
Yep. Not important to me at all right now. Who the fuck are you, dude? And he's just like, what you talking about, kind of a thing. Sure enough, she's just going to kind of show him the scrolls, basically. And he's like, hey, I told you right from the gate, I found that fucking crest on some dead guy. And she's just like, no, kind of a thing. And he's just like, bro, like, I told you so. You know what I mean? Like, he even mentions back in Numenor, he's like, you were the one that kept trying to get me to leave. I didn't want to. I wanted to stay.
Yeah.
You've been forcing this whole fucking thing. And he's basically going to say, he's not going to say it just yet, but he's going to very much hint at just exactly who he is. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to see that he's going to basically like grab Galadriel and they're going to like teleport, I guess.
Yeah.
For lack of a better
Oh,
word.
it's like teleport flashback. is
Teleport,
kinda like that.
flashback, yeah. And Galadriel's going to be back where we started with her, actually, at the beginning of the show. She's back with her brother in that field. And they're kind of having the same conversation. Only things are different this time because Galadriel's already had this conversation. And she's not fooled, and she knows that this whole thing's a fucking trick. So as soon as she tries to fucking kind of leave and basically get out of here to escape, Halbrand fucking, or whatever, I would imagine he's shapeshifting as fucking her brother.
Yeah.
He fucking kind of flies over, grabs her, then they flash again. And they go to like that, not a boat, definitely not a boat, but fucking
I think it's from like the earlier episode,
right,
where
whatever you want to call
like
that
plank,
fucking,
whatever
the
you want to
planks
call
that they
it.
tied. Yeah, there you go. The planks that they tied together, their raft that she found him on, and fucking, it's a trippy conversation. The way that they're like kind of flying through all these, so it's got to be like
The way
he's
she's
gotta be
like,
using some,
drowning,
witchcraft.
too.
Yeah,
Almost
yeah,
when she
yeah.
falls in the water, she's
exactly.
just,
He
like,
brings her like back
drowning.
to that.
Yeah.
The whole thing's very, very, very trippy. But Halbrand's kind of sounding like he wants to make up for the evil that he's done, which is, like I said, he hasn't said that he's Sauron yet, but it's very much what we're hinting at. It's
Yeah,
like,
this is when you
bro.
start leaning a little bit more forward on the couch too. You're like,
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
oh man, like come on, same
yeah,
thing.
say it, yeah,
motherfucker.
for real. And it's just like, it's like, all right, well, what evil could you have done? What's going on here, kind of a thing. And Galadriel clearly ain't having any of it. And then we kind of say that Halbrand seems like he's like, now I was mentioning earlier, he seems like he's full out like in love with Galadriel. He's like, I want to rule together. He's like hand in hand. She's like, yeah, fucking queen. Like, I'll be a queen, you'll be my king, but fucking we'll like rule over all these people and you'll be evil, kind of a thing. And she's like, nah, not with you by my side. Like, with you by my side, you'll keep me grounded to like the good, basically. You know what I'm saying? He's like, we need each other. He's like, fucking, I can give you power and you can keep me fucking basically grounded and not like going fucking full blown evil. And Galadriel's like, nah, I'll never be at your side, bro. And then that's when she does like the fucking back to being submerged, fucking under the water. And then basically when he fucking pulls her out this time, he's like, what are your elf friends gonna think? They already threw you out because you wanted a fucking couple soldiers. Now they're gonna fucking, what are they gonna do when they find out that Sauron lives because of you?
Yeah,
And it's just
know,
like, oh!
Yep.
It was great. It was a fucking great reveal.
Yeah, and you know what too is like some of these shows or whatever, whether it's a movie, if you can listen to the bad guy's explanation and a part of you can kind of side with what he's at.
Thanos.
Like, that's when you know, right? Yeah, like yes, half the population should just be snapped into infinity. But like when they explain their motives, or like he gets into like you kind of help me out along the way.
Yeah.
And you kind of like side with it or agree with it. Like that's how you know that they did an awesome job of like the whole storyline along the way.
Yeah.
So like he goes into it explaining how much that she kind of did help him along
it
the way.
seems
You're like,
honest.
oh wow, like you look back at it,
Yeah.
she really did help him a lot along the way.
Yeah.
So
She just
the way they
isn't having
explained
it.
Yeah, right.
She just isn't buying it, basically. Because, I agree. It seems like like I said, he seems like there is some genuineness to him.
He's like, oh, you helped me fight. Like, yeah, against a common enemy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like things like that. Like,
Yeah.
They explained it perfectly.
Seems like, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe could like this whole thing have perhaps gone differently? Like, what if Galadriel's like basically like, yeah, like maybe could she have kept Sauron from becoming evil? I don't think so. I think he's always destined to become evil.
Yeah.
But the question, what if?
Yep.
But it was a pretty trippy little scene. And like right after basically Sauron lives because he's, like you said, he goes, Sauron lives because of her, orgasmic thing. She's like, yeah, Sauron's going to die because of me too. And I was just like, word.
Good response. Good bounce back.
For real. And she kind of snaps out of this dream sequence that he kind of put her under. And she's going to snap back to it. She is at the stream where she passed out, basically, where this conversation started. Only Halbrand's nowhere to be found. Elrond's the one that's there now, kind of trying to, like, wake her up. Like, yo, Galadriel, you were fucking passed out. What the fuck? Wake up.
Yeah.
And as soon as she wakes up, she's like, yo, pulls a knife kind of a thing. Like, who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? And
chill.
Yeah, you actually Elrond.
Yeah.
Makes him do the, speaking of Harry Potter, the old Harry Potter. You got to convince him, who you are. You got to tell him the truth. Got to tell him the truth that no one else knows.
Yep.
That's what he did. That's right. Where they met.
Yeah.
Perfect. So she's like, all right, you're actually Elrond, I believe you. Cool. And then we're gonna find out that we need to. Well, actually, no. I'm sorry. We're gonna, Galadriel's gonna like shoot up. She's gonna grab Elrond. They're gonna shoot up to Celebrimbor's back to his workshop. And she's gonna go to fucking Celebrimbor. She's like, yo, is it all done yet? And he's like, nah. She's like, all right, good, because we need to make 3, not 2. And Elrond's like, why? And she's like, because one will corrupt,
Yeah.
2 will divide, and then she doesn't even say it herself. Celebrimbor catches on to it again. He to what the idea is, and he's like, 3, there's balance.
Yeah, to bring balance to the force. Yeah, basically.
Which I thought was like, oh shit, like we're doing the damn thing. All right, word. And then they're gonna, Elrond's like, where's Halbrand at? And she's like, he's gone. He's never come back. And if he does come back, we're not have to talk to him or just tell him he's not allowed. Tell him to get out of here.
Public
basically,
enemy
kind of
number
thing,
1.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Which I thought was like, all right, shit. I can't imagine why he would be back unless he's here with an army ready to fucking kill all you motherfuckers. But
Yeah.
we'll see that if it's come to fruition.
In which case, sign me up.
Yeah, for real. And then before we can get to work on these 3 rings here, now that we have 3 instead of 2, Celebrimbor is like, all right, we realized one more thing. We need the purest gold and silver. It needs to be from Numenor. And it just so happens, what does Galadriel have around her waist that her brother gave her? A dagger made of pure gold and silver, straight from Numenor. Perfect. We have exactly
Bang,
what we
bang,
need
bang.
to finish this creation. So from there, we're going to start kind of wrapping up our characters for the season here. We're going to go to the Hotfoot camp. We see that the stranger has returned with Nori, Poppy, and Nori's mom. And the stranger is basically going to head for Roan. He's going to say, hey, I'm heading out of here. I got to continue my journey.
It's been fun and all, but I'm out of here.
Yep. What he said, I like that part too. She says, he says he's going to Roan, and Nori goes, it sounds like quite the adventure. And he goes, no, it's a journey. Journey's by yourself. An adventure is something that happens with a group. And I was just like, word.
Nice.
Especially because it's like Lord of the Rings. Like, I'm going on an adventure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's what I was instantly thought of. I was like, all right.
And is this what he says too? Another thing that kind of ties into who we think he is.
In a minute. Oh, that's not what we think he is. That's a fucking, that's a kick in the dick.
Like the quote that he says, that's a similar
that's
thing.
a kick in the dick.
Yeah.
But fucking, we're going to find out that the word, well, actually, I already said it, but what was it they called him again there? Fucking Istar. She goes, they were wrong about your name. Maybe you're not heading for the wrong place. And he goes, nah, I'm pretty sure they were right about that shit. And she goes, they called you Istar. And he goes, that means wise one or wizard. And I was just like,
Let's go.
okay, I see you. But they got to split up. So Nori's going to fucking head back down to her little migration camp. The rest of the Hoffoots are getting ready to continue their migration to set back off again. And as soon as Nori gets to her goddamn parents, they have already packed her a bag. They got her a freaking Hobbit backpack.
Yeah.
Thing's fucking awesome.
They know.
All the goods that she needs. And they say, hey, he needs you. You know what I mean? You're destined for bigger than this. Fucking go with your boy and fucking protect him, look out for him kind of a thing. And this shit was heartfelt. We were talking about how Sadek's death was pulling at the heartstrings.
Yep.
Her with her dad right here when the dad's like, I never taught you nothing. And then she starts saying all the things that she did.
Yep.
One of them being not to take a shit because if it's upstream, you might have to take some water downstream and you might have your own shit water. I thought that was fucking hilarious. Yeah. But I was just like, this is tugging at my heartstrings right here. I was like, this is sad. You know what I mean? They were moaning, fucking reminiscent about Sadek too, wishing that he was there to help lead and stuff.
Yep.
But the whole thing was very fucking sad. And then she's going to say bye to Poppy as well, obviously, kind of a thing, which was also very sad. You're my best friend.
I almost thought we were going to have a Sam and Frodo moment. I
thought so, too.
I almost thought she was ready to hop on and come with.
I thought so, too.
I really thought we were getting that moment. So when she was left behind, I was like, oh. I wasn't, disappointed, but...
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
I thought it was going to be that same kind of moment.
I thought the same
Sam
thing.
and Frodo.
Yeah. They hinted at her being a bigger role, though, like in the Hotfoot little tribe thing. Like she seems like she reads maps well, I think, so they were going to kind of have
so
guide,
they'll
basically.
still be around.
Yeah, I think that they'll be around. I don't think that the Harfoot tribe, I don't think is going to be a very big part of season 2, but I think they'll go back to them once or twice, you know what I mean? Just like a little checkup.
Yeah.
But Nori and the stranger, you know what I mean? So Nori's going to head on back up the hill, basically. She's going to say, all right, stranger, let's head on out of here. Where are we going to go? And then, like you just hinted at, we get the fucking quote, and I don't care what you say. That's a reveal to me, baby.
Yeah.
She's going to, Strange is like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, you can take the charge. Like, why don't you go lead us off to where we're going to go? She's like, dude, I ain't got a clue. Like, I don't have the first idea where to go.
No idea.
And then what does he do? He fucking kind of just looks around and then just goes, it's that way. And she goes, you sure? And he goes, when in doubt, always follow your nose, baby. Yeah. And I was just like the fucking Leonardo DiCaprio gift. Like, literally the Leonardo DiCaprio. I was like, Gandalf! It's Gandalf! Media man's Gandalf!
Yep.
Which I'm not gonna lie, Meteor Man has won me over more than anybody else in this season. Like at the beginning, I had no idea who he was or what to think of him or what his storyline was. I love him.
Yeah,
I love this guy, and sure enough, he's one of my favorite fucking characters. He's Gandalf.
Yeah,
I should have known right from the beginning.
He was awesome.
It's fucking great fucking reveal. We thought he was gonna be Sauron. I was gonna be pissed. Now he's Gandalf, and I'm fucking ecstatic.
Yep, it's perfect. Yep.
And then we go to basically our last scene. We go to Lindon. We literally see the creation of the 3 rings. We're gonna melt down the dagger, like we mentioned, to get the pure silver and gold. We're gonna use the 3 stones that we saw earlier: the red, the blue, the white. We're going to use the Mithril, obviously, and we are going to forge the first of the 3 great rings. The first 3 there for the elves. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Not going to lie.
Yeah.
And the first thing I thought of, I was just like, well, right away I was like, I didn't think that the 3 rings for the elves came before Sauron's ring. I thought they were more of like a retaliation thing. But then I was like, oh, fuck. Sauron literally just saw and learned exactly how to make them.
Yeah.
I was like, now it fucking makes so much fucking sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, not only can he go forge his, he can go forge the 9 for the other guys.
Yep.
And sure enough, that's exactly where we leave off. The very last thing we see for the entire season before we make off is fucking Halbrand, and he is walked, basically, it looks like, to goddamn Mordor by himself. Made the trek, and he's
awesome.
arriving in Mordor. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Awesome visual of him just, like, looking at Mount Doom in the distance and shit.
Yep.
Fucking
And I bet,
sick.
too, I know we, like, all of us, like Adam, too, when he was here, like, we all had our kind of guesses as to who he was. And like Halbrand was tossed around a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like it's like, you know how it was with, I don't know, say like seeing like Scream for the first time. Where like after you see it, you know who the killer is. Now the next time you watch it, you're trying to pick up on little things along the way that was so easy that if you paid attention you'd see it. Like I kind of want to watch the whole season now and see if it was like that. I know we did have little things with like Adon.
They did
like,
great things as far because I feel like not just me, but I feel like you said Adam. I feel like a couple people did like Luke. I feel like a lot of the viewers on Twitter even like they went back and forth from like, oh wow, Halbrand's definitely Sauron to he's not Sauron.
Right.
Maybe he's a ring wraith,
Yeah.
but he's not Sauron.
Yep.
To oh fuck, he's Sauron.
I even saw a theory that he was part of the Army of the Dead. Like he was the leader of like the Army of the Dead.
That would have been sick.
Something like
that.
that.
Would have been fucking all. That would have been sick.
Yeah, but now that it's out there and you know, like I said, I'm interested to watch back on the whole entire season and see if there was even more things that nobody really picked up on or that you could see and you're like, oh man, it was fucking right in front of me the whole entire time.
Yeah, the Adar one that you mentioned is the big hit and big nail on the head there because
that's when I feel like for me
that's
that's when the wheels started turning a little bit.
Yeah.
I
love what you just mentioned though. That fucking because like the whole King of the Dead storyline, basically like an army that was fighting for Isildur, and they were basically like fucking a bunch of crazy guys, and they were like just blacklisted, given what they were supposed to be given because they were crazies. And I was just like, that would have been awesome.
I was hoping that would have been like that was a second.
That
would have been like my second favorite option. I think him being Sauron
is awesome. Yeah,
that's
cool.
Like
that would have been fucking cool though, man. That would have been fucking cool. I wouldn't have seen that coming at all.
Yep.
But like we said, awesome finale. Great
awesome
finale.
Fucking show, man.
Great season. Yeah, definitely. I'd say
awesome season.
Rings, jump the shark.
Yeah.
Jump the dragon. I keep saying shark.
Yeah.
I keep meaning to say dragon. Jump the dragon, baby.
I mean, we're talking ratings. I wouldn't be afraid to say like 8.8.
I went higher.
8 point. Did you?
I went higher. I went 9-1. I went 9. I thought 9-1 was the perfect thing. I don't like to give flats. I don't like to give like 9s, 8s, 7s. I like to go point something.
Right.
And I thought 9-1 was more deserving than 8-9.
Yeah, it was very close. Maybe I don't know. The first couple episodes, it took a little bit to take off, but once it took off, it just kept going. All the storylines, it finished really well. The action was awesome. My expectations were pretty, I don't want to say pretty low, but like I didn't really have high expectations, and they blew those expectations out of the water. So, like all around, like I said, round of applause. That was an awesome season.
Yep.
It makes me excited for season 2.
Oh yeah, big time. I'll say a lot of something, not a lot, but some of the things in my rating too. Like I'm a sucker for a lot of small, like for instance, like I've literally mentioned, I think almost every episode that we've got how beautiful I think the show looks.
Yeah,
and that like does not like that just adds every single week to my rating. You know what I'm saying? I think that this show looks better than almost anything else I've ever seen. Like legitimately.
Yeah,
between the orcs to the fucking lands to
all the battles were awesome.
Looks fucking amazing.
Yep.
And it genuinely showed. Like we've mentioned, it was the most expensive TV show of all time. $500 million budget. I think it showed.
Yeah.
Like it fucking showed.
Yeah.
You could literally see it before your eyes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The fucking Mount Doom explosion was awesome.
Yeah, that whole battle was cool.
The hint of the Numenor destruction with the waves was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The orcs looked awesome. The wolves looked awesome.
Battle scenes were very good.
Yeah, it fucking looked great. I loved it. Like I said, I loved it. The only thing I can take away from it, I think, is really those first 2 episodes. I get why they were the way they were. Do I think that they could have made them less fucking classroom-esque? It almost felt like you're sitting down in a
to be your
college course
first
with a
episode,
professor,
to be like a series premiere,
Yeah.
to have that be your first one.
Honestly, I should go back and watch it. Maybe I'm being hard on it now that I've seen the whole season. Maybe now in hindsight, it plays better. You know what I mean? Maybe it has a little bit of that.
I think the whole season does because now you can look back on the whole Sauron storyline.
Yeah.
Maybe you
Watch
get
the clues for
maybe a
Halbrand.
couple of Meteor Man hints along the way that you missed.
Yeah.
So I think a second watch is definitely needed, not just because it was a good show.
Yeah. Well,
Might
we're
been
gonna
some
have the
subtle
time.
details that you missed.
Definitely. Yeah, no. We're going to have the time, like we mentioned. We're going to have like 2 years of a layoff. So, Los, closing thoughts. Jesus Christ. Rings of Power.
Yeah, Rings of Power. I give it an A, 9.4.
9.4, baby.
I loved
Look
it.
at that.
I loved it. I don't know.
I love to hear it. Like I said, I was 9-1, so you weren't much above me, but I think we're all right in the. You 8-9, so we're all within
8-9,
six decimal points of one another. So.
I love the original trilogy. I feel like it just added to it so much more.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think, dude, what you just said, I think is going to be even 10 times higher when we finish this series. You know what I'm saying? I think as soon as I think this is going to almost lead like perfect right into our original trilogy.
Definitely. Well done.
Yeah.
I got nothing, not really no bad things to say about it. It's an awesome show.
No, great job, great fucking job. I wish we could have gotten a little bit more. No Durin in the finale, which like disappointed because he's like him and Meteor Man are my two guys.
Oh, the one I can see a big season 2.
I think he's in that.
I don't know if he. Now that I think about it, might have the same like effect for me. I feel like him and Elrond were an awesome combination. So I don't know how I'm gonna feel if they're separated now.
Oh,
I'd like to see them kind of back together in the same whatever the same storyline is. You got to figure like they're fighting
Durin's
the
gonna
Bell
have
Rock
his
at
hands
some
full.
point.
Durin's gonna be fighting the Bell Rock.
Right.
Yeah, he's got his hands full.
So that might.
And
be
we already know
something
that.
gets,
We know how that's gonna turn out too.
That might get Eldon back too. So I like to see them back together.
Yeah. If we do, I would appreciate every moment you can because they're all going to be very, very limited going forward. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But awesome show. Hats off to Bezos and Amazon. My expectations were probably a little bit higher than Seth's. I was somewhere in the middle going into it, but it definitely was not. I was by far and away, blown out of the water.
Yep.
Exceeded them by a lot. So.
I was terrified, and I couldn't have been more wrong. So
yeah,
from
the get-go, you were too. Like I said, I still remember that Super Bowl scene. The fucking halftime, whatever it was.
I had very low expectations.
You were terrified.
Oh shit! It feels like forever.
Like, oh no, this looks bad.
All right, let's get into our last topic here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into we're gonna dive into our last recap, our penultimate episode. Like I said at the beginning of the show, the word penultimate literally made famous by the show Game of Thrones. I didn't know what that word was or meant or anything about it until Game of Thrones happened. They made episode 9 famous, and I'm just going to start off with this review by saying I think that historic chemistry that they built up with the audience around the penultimate episodes, I think was what kind of ruined this episode for me. I did not love this episode. I didn't hate this episode. I actually think I enjoyed it a tiny bit more than I enjoyed last week's because I wasn't a fan of last week's episode, which I kind of said. This week's episode, while being a little slow, I didn't dislike it until the ending. I really fucking hated that ending, man. And when I say I hated it, I mean I hated it. I really, really hated it. I don't know if it's because George didn't write it and it's not in the book. I don't know if it's because the showrunners just needed something to fill fucking screen time to appease people. But I hated it. It genuinely like pissed me off. And it left kind of a bad taste in my mouth. And I wish they hadn't done it. But the rest of the episode I actually kind of enjoyed. I know a lot of other people said it was slow. I think Seth's going to be on that wagon. I think you're going to be on that wagon as well, Los, right?
Yeah. I thought the episode was extremely slow for the finale. I don't know. I kind of expected it in general. But the few scenes where it seemed like something was going to happen, it just nothing ended up happening, and that's what rubbed me the wrong way.
I would say that that's not wrong. I would say that this episode, though, I feel like is done what a lot of this season is done, which is kind of progressed a lot of our political alignments. It's shown where people stood. It's going to show where people are going to stand. Which all of that stuff is part of the reason why I love Game of Thrones. I love the chess game. I love the moving of pieces and who's on this and who's blackmailing this person and who actually owns this little bird. They're pay, like both these people are paying them. They're giving their truce to both, but they actually have to be loyal to somebody. Who the fuck is it really? That shit, I got to be honest, I love. So while this episode was kind of slower, if the episode hadn't have ended the way that it did, I would have came away and said, while it wasn't like the rest of the Game of Thrones penultimate episodes with this big death, with this big battle, I still liked it. I would have wished it came earlier in the season, probably. But it is what it is.
It's the same thing that I was saying. It's not as simple as how it was with Halloween, but like the formula is right there. You don't have to reinvent the wheel and come up with a penultimate episode that doesn't blow like I don't know. I'm not saying they tried to have a bad episode, but I think they went into it saying like everybody knows that Game of Thrones, a penultimate episode, is either a crazy battle or a jaw-dropping death scene.
Yep.
And they tried reinventing the wheel, and you don't have to. The formula is right in front of you. You have to do one or the other. I'm not saying I don't want to ask for everybody to die in the penultimate episode, but like you need to have a good, like something like a memorable part. And I don't know. I just feel like they didn't from the entire thing. There wasn't one memorable scene. There were more scenes that aggravated me than I thought like benefited the entire season.
This guy's unbelievable.
Or like the entire show. A lot of the big scenes pissed me off.
Yeah, no, that's actually what I was just saying. Is actually like I understand why people are. I get it. I get that it wasn't the most fast-paced episode. I understand that. I'm with you. I get it. But like I said, there are things that I'm still able to take away and appreciate as a fan of the show that I still liked. The part of the episode where people are actually saying that they liked, and they were like, "Oh, well, thank God for the reveal at the not the reveal, but the explosion at the end," is the part of the episode that I absolutely hated.
The worst.
Yeah, it drove me fucking crazy. It's pissed me off for like 2 days thinking about it. It's completely illogical. We're gonna get there. We'll get there. But
you think that this had more impact than last episode? I think how
that's tough. Impact is tough because the king died last episode, which is going to be the biggest, basically, catalyst for everything that's going to pop off.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think more pieces moved this week than last week. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't think they did though.
Nothing moved last week.
Yes, it did. They literally. But
who moved last week?
Nothing necessarily moved.
Nothing moved.
But they did the biggest information that you can give out. They gave out. They told you why the Dance of Dragons is going to happen. They explained it how it's going to happen.
Sure.
This one for me did there were a couple pieces that moved, but did you not think those pieces were going to move that way anyway?
All right. How about this? If that simply doesn't happen, right? Let's say if he doesn't have that conversation with Allison at the end of last week's episode, right? Let's just say that he just dies on his own accord without Allison ever coming into the room. He just dies right there in that room, right? Do you think that this week in this episode, Otto's not going to already? We see it. He's literally already putting plans into place. Yeah. Do you think that Otto's not going to try to take the throne for his grandkids anyway? The Dance of Dragons is happening, regardless of what Viserys might have mumbled in his fucking death. Did it probably escalate things and move them along faster?
Right.
Yes.
You're saying this was going to happen just regardless of how we got there.
I think
it could be different paths.
Yeah, we saw. We literally going to find out as much like in the second scene. Otto and the fucking High Council was already planning to move in Aegon for fucking Rhaenyra. They were doing it without Allison's knowledge.
But I still don't think so though. Just because you kind of almost, for like a wrestling term, I thought you had a face turn with Allison in this episode. When she's talking to Rhaenys at first, I was like, I don't know. I kind of felt like she was kind of seeing more of the good side. So I don't know if she would have stayed where she was if Viserys didn't tell her who should be the rightful heir or like who he thought he was talking to.
You're saying specifically. All right, that part I agree with. If you're talking about Allison specifically,
yeah,
which obviously she's kind of got to be a little bit of the face of the thing because she's the queen and the mother of the kids. But like I said, Otto is going to push this through, with or without his thought.
Let's get.
He's already manipulated her the whole time. He's just going to keep doing it.
I could go on about how I didn't like the episode, but we'll break it down.
Well, yeah, let's do it. Episode 9, Green Council. We're gonna open up. We're in the early fucking mornings, right in the morning the early morning hours, right after the king's death, right where we left off in the last episode. Dark as shit, real gloomy kind of vibe. I kind of liked it. I'm not gonna lie. Right away, I was like, all right, what the fuck?
Right up your alley.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I like this. So we see basically. I was a little confused by this actually. It's a little kid, a little blonde-haired kid. Are we supposed to know who this fucking kid is, or is he just a little bird?
Was he Joffrey? That's the only one I could think of.
I was like, I was kind of confused. I was like, is this supposed to be... Because obviously it's not one of Rhaenyra's kids because they also left the dragons.
Oh, that's true too. So it wouldn't be Joffrey.
I was like, I was thinking for a second, was it the little bird that already paid Otto from after the... You know what I'm saying? But he was older than that, and now it's been years later, so it couldn't have been him either. Yeah. I had no idea who this little fucking kid was. Nope. So I guess he's just some new little fucking bird or something like that. I have no idea. But basically, he's going to go into the king's chambers. Bang, finds out the king's dead. We're going to relay the message to Allison. Allison's actually very upset, which I was like, all right. goes to show this girl didn't just have her claws in him, which she
has a
did,
heart.
but she genuinely cared about him. You know what I mean? And she's gonna go to fucking Otto, give him the news. Otto, first question: who else knows? She's like, the kid that told me, and Talia, my handmaid. Talia probably not the best person to know,
Right.
But Allison, she's like, hey, by the way, Dad, in the King's dying moments last night, because I went and saw him apparently right before he died, and he kind of mentioned that he wished that Aegon was going to be on the throne. He said that he should be king, and that was like his dying wish. And I was just kind of like, that's not what he said.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, he mentioned Aegon, not even specifically your Aegon, but he did not say that he wanted your son, my son, anyone's son on the throne.
True.
I was like, you're literally just like extending, like you're having your own thoughts here, and you're pushing it into his words.
Yeah,
you know
he
what I'm
took
saying?
it to a different context than what he was saying.
Yeah, like, he never mentions king
Yeah.
or even the throne. He doesn't mention either of those things.
Yep.
No, I mean,
He doesn't mention
honestly.
either of them. He literally says to fucking come against the darkness, like, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta be the one. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So I'm like, dude, this bitch, tainted.
She polluted.
She is polluted. There you go. I like it. We're going to go to the scene that I was kind of just talking about a second ago. High Council meeting. Otto's going to tell everybody, hey, the king's dead. And his last wish was that the heir be changed. It's no longer going to be in Rhaenyra. His last wish is that the heir was going to be Aegon. And it turns out plans have already been in place, like I said. I think it's the Lannister kid. The Lannister kid's like, all right, so this is great. Like, we're just going to continue with our plans that we've already had. And Allison, like, double takes. She's like, huh? Like, wait, what? You guys have had fucking plans to do this before today, kind of a thing?
Otto's like, come on. Like, yeah, I did. Of course I did.
Yeah, for real. But Allison, not happy about it. Like, genuinely, you can tell, like, fucking aggravated. You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to go to Lord Beesbury, who's going to be the only guy that's going to speak up on behalf of, I would say, the king and Rhaenyra. And he's going to be like, I ain't buying this shit. I've known the king for like fucking 50,000 goddamn years. He would never do this. And of course, the only person that was supposedly here to hear this shit was the queen's mother.
Yeah, right.
Like, how fucking, convenient that is. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, I ain't fucking having that shit. And then he goes as far as to say the king was healthy last night. Maybe one of you guys fucking killed him.
Which is a little far-fetched.
A little far-fetched, because obviously he's got a rotting eyeball.
The king hasn't been healthy for like 25 years.
For real, no shit.
Yeah, the king's healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw him in the town yesterday. He was dancing with the people and drinking wine. Like, no, he's been pretty fucking sick for 25 years now.
You
For
can
real.
barely move.
And at this point is when fucking Sergeant Cole, this fucking dickhead,
Oh, what a...
he's gonna come over and basically pull the fucking the Heath Ledger Joker move where he just makes the pencil disappear.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
He says this fucking Beesbury, like, fucking sit down, old man, kind of a thing, and like forces him into his chair. And as he forces him into his chair, smashes his head off the table and just leaks his brains all over the table.
The subtle detail that we had, it's Game of Thrones or anything, is like that scene starts with the roll. It was like the ball.
Yeah.
that killed
Those
him,
things are cool. I like
and that's
those.
what started it. Like the ball, like they're rolling the balls on the table,
Yeah.
and like putting it into a placeholder, and that's what ends up killing him.
Yep. The head of the King's Guard, who's also there right away, is just gonna like pull his sword on fucking Cole and just be like, dude, I'm your superior, like fucking stand down. Cole ain't having it. He ain't standing down for dick until Allison's like, yeah, you can stand down, honey. And he's like, all right, now I guess I will.
I don't
But
know
it's just
who's
like-
gonna get Cole, but I'm rooting for that motherfucker whenever that time comes. I don't know who's gonna kill Cole by the end of this, but
Yeah.
I'm rooting for that other person, whoever that is. I've done a complete 180 on how I felt with Cole.
Oh, I think everybody has.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a person left in the audience who still likes
Who
this guy. He's an
sympathizes with
absolute
him.
asshole.
Yeah,
He's such
no.
a fucking loser. I would say that obviously the bet's on Damon, but like, how many people can Damon kill? Like, I would already have to say he's probably gonna have to kill Aemon.
He's got bigger
because
fish to
Yeah,
fry.
yeah. The
Bigger dragons.
The
to fry.
Damon Aemon's fucking battle is coming. We all know it is. It's just a matter of when, not if. I mean, you just saw them sizing each other up last week. You know what I mean?
Aemon's gonna get smoked.
Yeah. I can't fucking wait for that. That one's gonna be awesome. But like I said, head of the King's Guard basically gonna confront them. Allison's eventually gonna say, "All right, Cole, like, chill out, stand down," kind of a thing. That's when Cole finally is like, "All right, fine." And then some of the guys in the High Council are like, "All right, well, like, let's go, like, and continue with our day. We have a dead guy over here. Like, the king's dead. Like, we have a lot of shit to go deal with." And I was like, "No, everybody sit the fuck back down. I don't care if there's a dead guy over there. No one's leaving until we finish this fucking
Oh,
meeting."
didn't somebody say like let's get him out of here? And I forgot who says it.
Yeah,
They're
somebody-
like, no, like I don't know if it was Otto or what, but he was like, yeah, no, like he's staying there. We're finishing this.
Yep. Alicent is going to bring up the idea now of Rhaenyra. Like, all right, we're going to be passing over her. Like, so what are we going to do with her? And they're like, oh, well, we've already been making these plans. Like, we can't leave her free because if we leave her free, a bunch of people are going to rally to her cause, and then we're going to have an army to deal with. This is bad. So she's like, so what, you going to fucking kill her? And they're like, well, we didn't say that. You said that. You know what I mean? And then again, Alicent fucking furious for the rest of the High Council. Just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, this is not what the king would have wanted.
Yeah, you get I said, a face turn almost for Alicent.
Yeah.
I think her eyes are starting to become a little bit more open on what's actually going on here.
Especially with her father.
Yeah.
Especially with her fucking father.
Otto's a fucking scumbag.
He sure fucking is.
I just like that he's a scumbag. I don't know what it is about him. I like
he's
that
a good
he's
character,
a perfect
yeah.
scumbag.
Oh, he's a good. Yeah, he is a good
I think
character.
that's what I like about him. Just the character. He fits the mold.
That
Just,
fucking look he does too. He always he does like the head turn, like
he's like
fucking,
sideways almost.
Yes, yeah. It's an iconic fucking look. I'm not gonna lie. But like I said, Alicent furious the fact that they were gonna basically like try to kill off Rhaenyra, and she's like, this is not what the king would have wanted. Otto, this is kind of what we got to do. He sends Sir Eric over to Dragonstone, and not Sir Eric. I'm sorry. He's gonna send Sir Eric to do something else. He's going to send different guards over to Dragonstone to basically imprison Rhaenyra and her fucking family.
Let me know how that works, though.
Yeah, for real, no shit. You know that Daemon's there, right? Like with his dragons and shit. Like, let me know how that goes.
Good luck with that.
For real. But then we're going to see right before we leave there, after Otto gives his command to basically go and, we're gonna usurp the throne. We're going to imprison, Rhaenyra and her family. The last thing he's also going to do is he's going to make sure to fucking... Jesus, not him. But after that, the last thing we're going to see is the head of the King's Guard. He's going to step down. He's going to resign from his position.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Yeah. Says, I only serve the king, and there is no king right now. And until there is one, I don't fucking take orders from none of you. Pops off the white cloak and leaves it. And it gave me big-time Barristan Selmy vibes.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Get him on over to Dragonstone.
Yeah.
Join that side.
Obviously, Barristan gets fired, basically, by Joffrey, but he still does, the same thing. Like, he pops the cloak off and kind of throws it kind of a thing. And it just kind of older dude too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Just kind of gave me the same vibes.
Been around the block, seen it all.
Yeah,
knows the side to be on.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see more of that dude, and I think it might be on the other side. I think it might be on Team Black.
Get him on over to Dragonstone.
Yeah, I think it might be. From there, we're gonna kind of start jumping around. This episode was a much faster paced Game of Thrones episode. I felt like as far as the scenes, everything was like. We're gonna see Alicent and Otto. And they are going to basically be searching for Aegon. We're going to be making this kid king now.
Where I gotta put my hood on because this is when everybody in the episode puts their hood on.
Yeah, everyone.
Whenever somebody puts their hood on in this episode, they're up to no good.
Disguised. Yeah. It's all it takes.
There you go. Yeah, hoods up because this is where we start. We put the hoods up. And we start going.
I'm really sad I don't have a sweatshirt on right now.
We should have played that out.
We should have.
That's my fault.
But they're going to kind of start their search for Prince Aegon. No one can find him. They're going to start with his wife and sister, Helena. Hey, Helena, have you seen your brother? Nah, I haven't. Otto's like, all right, I'm going to go keep looking for him. Alicent's going to sit down and kind of have a conversation with her. As soon as she starts talking, though, Helena's going to just grab her arm and just be like, again, the beast beneath the floorboards. And I'm just like, all right, this has got to be something fucking important if this is all you're going to keep talking about.
Been watching her this whole time. Every time she talks, an extra ear fucking pops up because I want to hear everything she says.
You were on her way before I was.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. The first couple of scenes of her, I was just thinking she was a fucking weirdo.
Yeah,
but she's got the sight, baby. Otto is going to, like I said, he kind of dashes out of the room as soon as Helena says she hasn't seen him. He's going to go over to Sir Eric, like I mentioned a second ago, a new member of the King's Guard, a new character for us. And it turns out he's got a twin brother whose name is Eric and Eric. One's with an A and one's with an E. I'm just like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Twins, Basil.
And they're twins, yeah. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me, right? And Otto is going to send these two guys out into the city in search of Prince Aegon, and basically say, hey, when you find him, bring him to me. No one else, not the queen, nobody else. Bring him straight to fucking me. Shit. All right. So then we got to jump. We're going to quickly see that Rhaenys, who has been at the Capitol. She was just there for the trial about the Driftwood throne last episode. She's still, there. And she's just sleeping, basically. And she gets kind of woken up by a noise. She's going to hop up out of bed. She's going to stumble on over to the door and realize that she's locked in her fucking cell. Well, not her cell, but her chambers.
Dorm, yeah.
Locked in her dorm. Yeah, there you go. Locked in her dorm. So we're like, oh, boy. We can see the takeover is fucking coming. It's coming. It's happening right now as we fucking see it. You know what I mean? So Otto's already sent out his fucking 2 guys. Now we're gonna see Allison send out her 2 guys. We're gonna go to Allison's chamber. Cole's gonna stroll on in. He's gonna tell her exactly what Otto did. He's like, hey, he sent out the 2 twin brothers. They're out there looking for him. They're basically gonna bring him to him if they find him. So Allison's all right, word. You're going. I need you to find them for them.
It's a race to get to Aegon.
Exactly. Yep. And brother Aemond, he's in the room too. Like I mentioned, he's like, all right, I'm gonna go with Cole. I know some of the local spots that he might visit. Like, I can help find my brother, kind of a thing. Allison, a little hesitant at first, but then after the explanation and Cole kind of giving the nod of approval, like, all right, let's get a little Aemond and Cole team up. 2 guys,
2 twats,
2 twats, but they can fight. That's for damn sure. They're a fucking problem if they want to be.
Yep.
They're definitely twats, though, no doubt about that. We're gonna see that Cole and Aemond, they instantly hit the Street of Silk, which I don't know if we've seen it directly, but we definitely heard Davos mention it a few times in Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yep.
As soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, I fucking know that place. You know what I'm saying? But apparently, Aemond has been here before. Aegon brought him here when they were 13 years old to this nice little brothel, and Prince Aegon told his little brother at 13 years old, time to get it wet. I just thought it was like nice. I cracked up, I'm not going to lie. They got to knock on the establishment, the door of this nice establishment, this little barkeeper, brothel head. She's going to come on out. They're going to ask if Prince Aegon has been there. And she's like, oh, no, I haven't seen that dude in a few years. He doesn't discriminate. Like, he kind of fucking goes to the dock pots of town. You know what I mean? Apparently, like, the Street of Silk, this is like the bougie area. This is the high class hoes. You know what I'm saying? Prince Aegon.
He's down in Nocturne Alley. That's where he's at.
He likes to dance with the demons down there in Nocturne Alley.
He took a wrong turn.
I like that. Exactly. And then right as they're about to kind of head out, I noticed that the barkeep kind of almost like hits on Aemon a little bit. She's kind of like, and give my best to your pal and you there. And she looks at him. She's like, you've certainly grown up. Aemon kind of just like looks at her and then just kind of goes,
I'll be back for you, girl.
I'm not gonna lie, I like this kid. He's kind of a twat, but I like this kid.
Yeah, he's a good twat.
He's fucking a bit of a savage. I'm not gonna lie. He's cool.
Aemon, good twat. Cole, bad twat.
For real, yeah, it's a good way to put it. We're going to see Otto has gathered all of the High Lords in King's Landing. He's going to bring them into the Red Keep. He is going to explain to them, hey, we've had a little change of heart here in the last moments of the king. We know that you guys all sworn fealty to Princess Rhaenyra. Well, now you're going to have to swear fealty to Prince Aegon because he's the new heir. Everybody's down except for 3 people. One of them we know, which is Lord Cresswell. He's clearly been very Team Rhaenyra this whole show.
Yep.
Then the other 2 we don't. The other 2 are going to be the ones that very quickly basically just say, nah, we're not bending the knee. We support the princess. Sure enough, they're going to get their asses tossed in jail. So Lord Cresswell, he's like, I like the princess, but I don't know if I like her that much. Or is he just playing the long con?
Yeah.
We got to see. But he's going to bend that knee, and he's like, fucking power to the king kind of a thing. And I was just like, I don't know. I feel like we're playing a con here. You know what I mean? I get that
definitely.
vibe. But Otto's not messing around, man. Like I said, we're locking up Rhaenys. Now we're around. These are like the good families. These aren't the peasants. You know what I'm saying? No. These are like head of houses. Yeah. And he's just like, gotta arrest you.
Just needed years of plotting and years of supporting. You know what I mean? Like, like you can tell it took a long time to come up with this.
Yep. We're gonna see that both the search parties here, they're both still out looking for Aegon. We're gonna see the twin brothers, Eric and Eric. They're gonna enter fucking like a child underground fighting pit. Basically like fucking cockfighting, but with children.
Yeah. It's a good way to look at it.
It's fucking gnarly, bro. And they even fucking mentioned, one of them mentioned, like the brothers are kind of having a back and forth conversation, which you can tell right here for the first time that it seems like their loyalties are a little bit
split up.
Strange. Yeah. One of them is going to basically kind of mention, like, oh yeah, Aegon visits this place regularly. Like that, those are the things that you don't hear about the fucking prince. And then he's like, even mentioning, like, it's like the kids, like they fucking intentionally like sharpen their claws and shit like that, and they'll trim their nails so that they can fucking.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh
gnarly.
Shit.
Yeah.
And then he's like, that ain't even just it, dude. He's like, fucking, you haven't even seen the whole thing. Like, fucking look over there. Points to this little kid who's just chilling on the ground, just fucking chilling out by himself, which is a terrible place for a kid to be, I'd imagine. But blonde as a Targaryen has ever been, and fucking sure enough, the brother's like, oh shit, is that one of Aegon's? He's like, oh yeah, I bet that's the only one. So it seems like he's been doing the King Robert strategy, fucking, and setting up fucking little bastards all over the kingdom. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Which doesn't surprise me. This kid seems like he's sleeping his way around all over town. Street of Slope, fucking down in Flea, what is it, Flea Bottom Alley?
Clue doesn't care about the other half of whoever he's with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. But like I said, brothers definitely bickering about their allegiances a little bit already, which we're going to see more of this in this episode. It's a very common theme between these two, even though they have the same name basically, and they're fucking twins.
That's about the only thing they have in common.
It seems like, yeah, I think that's kind of what they're trying to almost point across. Even though that they look the same and sound the same and fucking all that, they very different. You know what I mean? But they're going to be confronted basically by this this stranger, this girl, kind of just wandering, hooded up, and she's going to be like, "Hey, I know what fucking Prince Aegon is for a price," and they're like, "Yeah, all right, you know, fucking, what's the price?" kind of a thing. And they're like, "Yeah, we ain't having it." And then she's like, "I don't know, man. Like, I think the Lord Hand will want to know. You should probably go and fucking let him know." And she mentions the White Worm. She says, "I think he'll want to know what the White Worm has to say," which is a name that we've already heard once before. And I was like, "Oh shit, we're talking about fucking Daemon's girl." I was like, "Oh shit, This is who this girl's working for." And I want to know more about this girl because I've been reading things online that she is going to be a fucking problem.
Really? Yeah.
Like a problem. So we'll see.
I think I was on this too, like a decent amount earlier on in the season. I was like, oh, I wonder if she's getting paid off by Otto. And I don't know if they were the whole entire time.
I don't think so. Not until maybe like now.
They divorced or whatever it was.
Yeah. Something's going on though. This I don't know. But clearly it seems like she's got some information. She might know what Prince Aegon is. So basically they kind of head off to go get Otto to see if they're going to pay this girl off. We see that back in the Red Keep, Lord Cresswell, as we kind of mentioned, it seemed like he was playing the turncoat. Sure enough, he was. He's going to be trying to make his escape. He's going to have his horse. He's going to make it for the exits. But the goddamn Clubfoot, fucking Laris, that motherfucker. He's watching them. He was on to his plots just like us. He saw it for a trade or two. He's going to friggin' grab this dude. Well, not him, but, you know, he's going to have his goons grab this dude. They're going to bring him back to Otto. And, you know, Otto's going to kind of question him, like, where were you headed kind of a thing. And Cresswell doesn't have any answers. He's like, fucking, I don't know.
You knew damn well where I was going.
Fuck. Yeah, exactly. Like, I was going to go visit my wife.
Let's just get to the
I swear, I was going to go see my wife.
Yeah, let's just get to the point.
Otto's like, hang this motherfucker. I was like, oh, shit. That's not good. That's going to, you know, I'm not going to lie. They're not that, like, we haven't seen much of this guy, but Rhaenyra ain't going to like that.
No.
You know what I mean? This guy's one of the only people in her corner. She ain't going to like that. But then Otto, we're going to see have a quick little conversation with the Clubfoot. You know, hey, you've been having long conversations with my daughter till all hours of the night. Clubfoot right away. No reason why those conversations can't benefit you, Lord Hand. I was just like, this motherfucker, man. This guy is a savage, dude. He's like fucking Littlefinger, but he doesn't take any time to dance. No, he just fucking says it, right? You know what I mean?
He's almost like, I don't know the right word, but like more aggravating to watch than Littlefinger because you're like, oh, yeah, you motherfucker. Like, you know damn well what you're doing. And he
doesn't have the charm that
that's a great way to put it. It's a great way to put it. It's the perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
Yep. Littlefinger had a little like elegance to him, you know what I mean? Nice.
He was cheeky. He was looking cheeky.
Yeah. This guy doesn't have any of that.
I think he's just like naturally clever versus like you said, Littlefinger was a little bit like portrayed it a little bit more, I guess was a good way to put it.
Yeah. This guy he doesn't give a fuck, man. No. Yeah, he just lays it out there. But we're gonna see a quick little scene. Alicent and the Silent Sisters, they're preparing the king's body. Alicent's still, very upset. And then she's going to head on out of there, and she's going to go meet with the Princess Rhaenys, who is apparently still being held captive in her goddamn chambers, which is fucked up. She, of course, is going to ask that very much so. Like, hey, why am I imprisoned? Like, it's the first thing she's going to ask.
I need some answers.
And right away, the queen's like kind of, because of this, some things are going on. And right away, Rhaenys, man, crack as a whip, dude. She fucking right away, she's just like, oh, fuck, the king. He's dead, isn't he? And then doesn't even waste another second. She's like, and you're usurping the throne. And I was like, oh, man, this bitch is good.
Yeah.
She's smart.
Yep.
And sure enough, Alicent, she doesn't really deny it. She of course, says the same story. Like, that's the king's dying wish. Rhaenys, much like everybody else, is like, yeah, all right, sure. But Alicent, kind of wants her support. She says, you've been supporting Rhaenyra this whole show, basically, all these episodes, and what have you gotten for her? You got a dead daughter, you got a dead brother, you got a dead son, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Your husband's not doing good.
Deserted you, basically.
Yeah, he might be dead, you know what I mean? Who knows? So she's like, what the fuck is that relationship that, helped you out?
She got a point.
Turn tides, come help us out. She even offers up Driftmark. She's like, you guys can have Driftmark, you and your daughters. You guys can rule it forever. Do as you with your will. You know what I mean? And Allison's going to kind of mention that while women can't rule directly, women like her and Rhaenys, they can't rule. I think she's talking to the wrong person on this one. But
yeah,
while people like us can't rule, we can guide the men that do rule. Make sure that they don't just go into wild wars or act like savages and be fucking, pillaging people and shit like that.
Be a little bit more civil.
Exactly. We can kind of gift these people, guide these people. And Rhaenys is just like, Allison, I didn't give you the credit you probably deserved. You're not too dumb. You're actually smarter than I thought you were.
She's playing the game very well.
But, the thing that you're fucking up on is you're still just bowing down to these fucking men. And she's just like, the great line, actually, I wrote it down. She goes, you're not searching for freedom, but a window in your prison. I liked that a lot. I thought that was good. I was like, that's like, I like that.
Yep.
That was very, actually, that sounds like something that should have been fucking Rings of Power. That's very Tolkien-esque right there.
Yeah.
That's right out of Tolkien's mouth. I liked that, though. And then she's going to drop the bomb. She's going to get right up close and whisper, which I love, too, just to make it a little bit more impactful. Have you never envisioned yourself on the Iron Throne? And you can very clearly tell that Allison has never thought about herself on the Iron Throne.
Right.
Never once. She's just like, wait, I can do that? Me? No. And as soon as it was so funny because as soon as Rhaenys drops this on her, Allison basically is just gonna turn to leave, and she's like, all right, I'm gonna leave you here with your thoughts. Ring the bell when you come up with a decision. You know what I mean? To either join us or you can stay in prison, kind of a thing. And my thought was just you're gonna leave her with her bitch, she's gonna leave you with your thoughts.
Yeah.
You might be leaving the room. She might be here, but she's leaving you with your thoughts now, man.
Exactly.
She's got in your fucking head.
Yeah.
But she fucking, relocks her in, and Rhaenys is still being fucking held captive in the capital. Fucking fucked up.
Yeah.
Fucked up. But I liked that. I liked that scene a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Powerful
scene.
Yeah. I think Rhaenys is someone that we're gonna start to see a lot more. I hope so because I think she's a good character.
Yeah. It took a little bit to get going, but obviously this is her. That whole episode was her kind of moment.
Yeah. No, she had a good episode. A little bit of a younger Queen of Thorns.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got that wit. She's smart. She's seen it. She knows the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But she's still able to ride the dragon and shit. Spoiler. We're gonna get there. But fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We're gonna fucking ride the fucking dragon and shit like that. Still got a little edge to us. Still a little more fight. Not quite.
She knows what side to be on, and then I feel like if it comes down to it, she knows if to not pick a side if there's not a good side at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because she's been around the game for so long.
I'm hoping to see more of her. Like I said, though,
This whole entire season, timeline, whatever you want to call it. I mean, she's just been, like you said, she has been important, but not this important.
Yeah, no.
But just gathering information. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely.
Constantly soaking in whatever she's in, whatever scene.
Yep. I think she's gonna be a badass. And she seems like she's like a fucking straight shooter. You know what I mean? No games, no nothing. She'll she'll tell you straight, and even if you don't like it, you know what I mean, kind of a thing.
Yeah. I'm kind of scared to see where she goes based on the end of the episode, but she should be around.
We'll see. From there, we're going to see that Otto and his two schmucks, the two twin brothers there, they're going to go meet with the White Worm. And like I said, hood up for Otto now, first time.
Yeah, Otto's got the hood on now.
Hood up. We see that they're not quite alone though. Aemon and Cole have apparently found them as well, so they're kind of overwatching this little meeting. And Otto's going to kind of sit down with the White Worm, and right away, Otto's going to basically ask her straight up, just kind of like, "Are you the real deal?" Basically, like, "Are you legit, or are you just another one of these fucking
it's a show
phonies?" Right?
Yeah.
And dude, this bitch, what an answer! Just looks him straight in the eye and just goes, "I'm sorry to hear about the death of the king." And Otto's just like goes into his pocket, grabs a bag of coin, and is just like, "All right, word."
Pay her whatever she wants.
Yeah, for real. Like, "All right, word, you legit."
Yep.
He's been fucking arresting heads of families and hanging people to make sure this fucking news doesn't get out. You know what I mean? And however, this bitch, she found a way to get this info. You know what I mean? So Otto pays up, and right away, where's the Prince Aegon? And she's gonna say, we'll get there, but first I want to kind of make my claims. You know what I'm saying? And she wants to end these fighting pits that we saw. Basically, she's like, the kids in Flea Bottom, they're being treated like savages and shit like that. So I was like, oh wow, like.
Reasonable request.
Right? I'm like, oh, wow, you don't want a fucking seat or some goal?
Yeah.
Like, wow, all right. Like, you might be trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're looking out for the commoners and shit.
Yep.
So I was like, that's interesting. Sure enough, she's like, I want all that shit ended and stuff like that. I was like, all right, I'll look into it. Sure enough, I'll take care of it. I'll look into it. Seems like a good thing. And he's like, all right, so where's the prince at? And then before she tells him, she's going to say, hey, remember, I know where this kid is. If I wanted to, I could have killed him. Remember that when the time comes. This is the dude that you needed. If I wanted to, I could have killed this kid. I could have sent him the fucking Pentos. I could have done whatever the fuck I wanted with him.
Yeah.
And Otto's like, all right, no worries, I'll remember. And we don't see her tell him, but, obviously we know that she's going to, you know what I'm saying? And we see that the twin brothers, they show up at, not the Sept of Baelor yet, because that hasn't been built yet, but the whatever sept they have at this time, you know what I'm saying? And they're going to find Prince Aegon hiding underneath like a fucking center table of prayer, basically. I was like, wow, that is a fucking hiding spot if I've ever seen it.
How long have you been down there?
No shit. And how long can you stay there? It must be a very tight, dark, cramped. You must be hammered. You know how hungover and drunk you must be to like sleep in something like that?
That was just a temporary plan.
For real. But again, we're going to kind of see the brothers, again, in this scene, as they're kind of getting to Prince Aegon, as right as they get to him, we're going to see that they're kind of bickering about what to do with him when they find him. Again, you know what I'm saying? So these guys are clearly on very different sides of what they think that they should be, serving, basically. While one of them, the one that's clearly for Otto, starts pulling him out of the fucking thing and shit. He starts dragging him out of there. The fucking Prince is just not having any of it. He's like, why the fuck the White Worm gave me up? She's like, we asked for a price. She's like, why the fuck you pay it? I thought that was pretty funny. They drag him outside, and that's when Cole and Aemon fucking kind of make their move, you know what I mean? Cole kind of swoops in. He starts dueling with the brother that's trying to escort fucking Aegon out of there. They start dueling, and the other brother just fucking watching like a fucking watching Bill Belichick from the sidelines, dude. Nothing to do with it. Just let this brother out. Like, who knows? Cole's a savage. He might have fucking killed him.
Yeah.
He literally beat the guy to death at a wedding.
Could have easily. Yeah.
Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Aegon's gonna take it upon his time. He's like, oh shit, opening, sees green, starts booking it, doesn't get very far. Aemon tracks him down real quick, fucking tackles him. Fucking Aegon's like, hey, is it true? Was our fucking dad really dead? And he's like, oh yeah, and guess what? They're making you king. And what is their response? Spits in his face.
Yeah.
Oh, so this kid's great.
Get the fuck out.
As much as he's a complete cunt, I kind of like him in some ways. I know he's an asshole, but there's some things about him that I can't help myself. I just find myself cracking up sometimes at him.
Yep.
But I thought that was fucking good. Cole's going to make quick work of the whatever Eric brother he was dueling with. We're going to see that the other one just leaves, just heads on out of there, just takes off. And Aegon's basically going to kind of beg. He's going to beg his brother, like, hey, like, I don't want to rule. Like, don't make me be king. Don't take me to mom. Like, please. Like, me and, he even says me and you. He's like, let the two of us, let's get on a fucking ship and let's get the fuck out of here. We can leave together. I don't want to do this. You know what I mean? And Aemon's just like, dude, the queen awaits, bro. Like, let's go. Like, not having it. I was just like, damn, bro.
I think he says, I think Aegon says something like I'm not fit to be king, and Aemon's basically like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah. He literally says, I'm not fit to rule.
You don't have to convince me or something like that.
Yeah, no. Aemon clearly made his thoughts known to Cole on this episode. We didn't actually mention that, but he definitely was a little annoyed just the fact that he's like, he kind of was aware. He's like, I don't totally buy this whole story either, it seems like. He's like, I get where we're usurping the throne.
Yeah.
If we're going to do all of this, why the fuck shouldn't we do it for me, who's actually, like, kingly?
Fit to rule.
Exactly, yeah. I'm not out here whoring and fucking drinking and having bastards and fucking hiding and doing whatever, you know what I mean?
True.
He's not wrong at all. He's definitely not. I get his annoyance. We're going to see Otto and Alicent have come together for another meeting. And Otto's just like, well played, daughter, basically. And Alicent's like, bro, this isn't a fucking game. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my life. And she realizes now what Otto's been doing from the beginning of this show, which has been manipulating her and using her as a chess piece.
Yeah, for his own benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's like, well, if that's what I did, if I used you as a chess piece and I manipulated you, then I manipulated you to being queen of the 7 fucking kingdoms. Like, oh no, what a bad guy that I am. Yeah, exactly. And now I've set your sons up to be future kings of the, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But it seems like they're at odds for the first time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Alicent is going to bring up the idea of Rhaenyra again. And clearly she wasn't, happy about the whole idea of imprisoning them. But she's like, dude, this is not what the fuck, like the king would have wanted. like, this isn't it. And she's like, we're going to offer them terms, good terms, respectable terms, but they don't have to feel like they were fucking bamboozled. You know what I'm saying? She goes, that's what the king, would have wanted. And I was like, is that what the king would have wanted, or is that what you would have wanted? Because y'all are fucking childhood friends. What the fuck is going on right now? Okay. A little, what the hell is going on?
Spooky season, baby.
Yeah, no shit. Exorcism's going on over here. What the hell? And then Allison's going to kind of start just laying down all of her orders. Not only are we going to fucking offer good terms to Rhaenyra, Cole's going to be commander of the King's Guard. We're going to sworn Prince Aegon in tomorrow. All right. We're going to sworn in Prince Aegon tomorrow in front of everybody. He's going to fucking get Blackfire, the Valyrian steel sword. He's going to take Aegon the Conqueror, the name. I'm like, oh, Jesus, this is awful.
Yeah.
He's taking his name, his sword.
Get out of here.
This is ridiculous. Yeah. This kid openly doesn't want to rule. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
She lays down all these fucking requests, shows her balls, grabs him in front of her dad, finally takes a stand for the first time, and this fucking weirdo just goes, you look just like your mom in some lights. I'm like, you're a fucking creep.
Read the room, dude.
Yeah, you, for real. Read the room is right, dude. You're a fucking weirdo. And Alicent doesn't even respond. She just literally I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Just storms right out of here. I'm out of here. Bye. And I think he whispers something like that, as you wish. I think that's what he says, as you wish.
Typical twat comment.
Yeah. But Alicent, man, finally pulling tight against her father for the first time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? About time. About fucking time. She's really becoming a full-blown queen.
Took her a long time.
It did. She finally apparently it seems a lot of people take a long time to realize I was a scumbag.
Click, yeah.
Took fucking the king who knows how many years, 20 fucking years to realize it, you know what I mean? So from there we go to Alicent. She's gonna be, she leaves her meeting with Otto, and we get to a scene.
Scene for some.
She gets to her bed chambers, and sure enough, who's waiting for her but fucking Larys Clubfoot? And he's like, hey, I got some info to tell you. And she's just like, bro, I am tired. And he's like, hey, it's good stuff. It's about Aegon and Otto and the White Worm. And she's like, all right, fine. Like, let's hear it. Turns out he tells her everything that Otto learned, that there's spies inside, including, he even names one, Talia. They got spies on the inside. And Otto knows about them, and he left them in place. So someone's watching you, Queen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And as he starts unleashing this information, my dumb brain is just like, oh, this is so different for Game of Thrones. Like, this Queen Alicent's dealing with so many things, and she's so tired. All she wants to do is put her PJs on and get ready for bed. So she starts taking her shoes off and her socks or stockings. And I'm just like, oh, this is interesting.
This is when Quentin Tarantino starts directing.
Yeah, for real. And like Otto mentioned that they have been doing a lot of these chats. So I'm like, they're probably just getting more comfortable with one another. She's just getting ready for bed, kind of a thing. And then Larys is going to be like, Talia's one of these spies. Like, we got the best way to handle this, take it out at the head. We take out the queen bee, all of the other bees, they ain't got nothing else to follow. So Alicent's like, is this something that you can take care of? You know what I mean? And he's just like, if you wish, my queen. She doesn't say anything else. She just turns, pops her feet up on the bench that she is sitting on. I'm like, what the fuck's happening? And then we see the clubfoot reach into his fucking pants, grab his cock, start stroking it, and he's jacking off to Alicent's feet.
Foot fetish.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
The clubfoot.
Yeah.
Two spot on. Two spot on the nose.
Right. Yeah.
The guy with a clubfoot has got a foot fetish.
Just needs two correct feet. Yeah.
My God. Just
two. All it takes
just
is
needs two correct feet. That's all it takes for this guy. But, I mean, did you see the look on Alicent's face when she did it? This was not the first time. I don't think this was the 20th time.
Yeah.
This seems like this is a regular affair for these two.
Yeah.
She was so just like, oh, go ahead, you fucking
kind of like how
freak.
she was with Viserys whenever she was like, younger, like just like looking up at the ceiling while having sex. Just completely uninteresting.
The same fucking look. You're absolutely right. Spot on. Same exact thing. But just gross.
Yeah.
I know we see a lot of gross things in this show, but that one fucking, ugh.
Not my style.
I hate feet. They're gross. Get them away from me. I don't even like my girlfriend's feet. I fucking want to look at other people's feet. From there, we're going to see that the brother that left his, I don't know the difference between these two. Fucking Lord Eric, I don't fucking know. But the one that ditched his brother when he was getting fought by Cole, We see that when he left, when he fucking hightailed it out of there, he's going to make his way over to Princess Rhaenys' chambers. He's going to sneak this girl out. He's like, I can't stand for this. This is treachery. I'm going to get you the fuck out of here. They're going to start making their way out. They get through the Red Keep. They see Lord Cresswell literally hanging like on display in the Red Keep, which is pretty fucked up.
The whole town to see.
Yep, no shit. But they're they're gonna start making their way out. He mentions the fact that we can't go take your dragon because there's a bunch of soldiers over there at this time. So we gotta take the river, the Blackwater, to get out of here. So we're like, all right, start making our way through the city. We see
she's got her hood on.
That's true. Good point. Yep, good call. I forget about that. Rhaenys, hood up.
Yep, hood's up.
Yep, hood's up. So they start making their way through the actual fucking city. And we're going to see as they're making their way through, there is a building fucking ablaze. And who is walking from it but that soldier of the Clubfoots that already lit up his dad and brother at Harrenhal. Same guy, hooded.
Yep. So you know he's up to no good.
Hooded. But it looks like, we have to imagine based on the conversations that we've just seen that has to be one of the White Worm's brothels
the fact that
or
he already took care of
establishments.
it, or started to take care of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude wasted no time.
So I think, like I said, I do know that this bridge is going to be a problem going forward, but I think that they did enough by not showing her actually die, and they just showed her place ablaze that she's not actually dead.
Yeah,
they just want.
She seems smarter than that.
Yeah, they just want you to think he lit this place on fire again. They're dead now too, but
she's still out there.
Yeah, the White Worm's coming. Don't you fucking worry about it. We're going to flash to Aegon and Alicent. They are taking a little ride. Basically, they're heading to the coronation. And Alicent's like, dude, the least you could do is fucking look grateful because we've done a lot to make all of this happen. You know what I mean? And he just laughs. He's like, dude, I don't want to rule at all. My fucking dad didn't want me to rule. He didn't like me. And Alicent's like, yeah, that's why with his dying breaths, he fucking made you fucking heir. You know what I mean? And he's just like not buying it. He's just like, yeah, all right, whatever, dude. Dad literally didn't like me at all. And then this scene, I didn't love this scene either. This whole rest of this episode I didn't like because I didn't love this scene either. The scene was kind of dumb to me. So we see Aegon clearly not buying it, and then all of a sudden Alicent literally just opens up a box with a cat's paw dagger, the famous dagger that's going to kill the Night King that has the fucking story of Prince Aegon on it, the Conqueror. And as soon as he sees that, he's just like, really, Ma? Don't play with me. Really? I can be fucking king? Yeah, really? I'm just like, dude, this is a bigger turnaround than fucking when Bran said he didn't want to rule. You know what I'm saying? This is ridiculous. And then right away, Alicent's just going to be not even going to answer his question. Just listen, Otto's going to try to dig his claws into you. He's going to tell you that we need to fucking either imprison or kill your fucking sister, Rhaenyra, which is literally, I kind of forget that sometimes, that they're half brother and sister. They're literally siblings. Right. She's like, we got to take a high road. Can't do that.
Don't do that.
Fuck that shit. We got to offer him good terms kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't even acknowledge that. We're just not acknowledging anything he says, anything anybody says. He's just going to be like, Ma, do you love me? And then she's just going to go, you're an imbecile. Which I'm not going to lie. That part I did kind of like. That part cracked me up a little bit.
Yep.
I was just like, Jesus Christ, this kid, man. What a fuck. He's just so lost.
Yeah.
He's so lost, man. I don't get it. We saw the conversation. Otto told you to get this kid ready to rule. Clearly,
you failed.
Not you or anybody else got this kid ready.
Yeah.
It seems like no one even tried.
No, you failed.
No shit. Bastards everywhere watching kids fighting and shit. This kid's a fucking loser. From there, we're gonna see back Rhaenys. They're still trying to get out of town. People are just making their way through in absolute waves, though. They're having a hard time getting to the Blackwater Bay to leave. They're gonna taking roads that they don't want to be taking and stuff. They're kind of getting pushed in with the crowd. And the next thing you know, we see that they actually full blown basically get separated from one another by the crowd. Rhaenys ends up people ahead of Lord Eric. And all these people are making their way into the fucking dragon pit of all places for the new king's coronation. Oh, fuck. Which is where we're going to go to our last scene of the episode. We're going to go to Prince Aegon's coronation. Otto's addressing the crowd. Not only is King Viserys dead, but also we have a new heir. You guys know Princess Rhaenyra, she's the heir. Not anymore. Prince Aegon, he's your new heir. And everyone's kind of like, all right, sure, cool, whatever. We don't give a fuck. Woo, whatever. We're still going to be fucking piss poor and living in the streets, you know what I mean? It doesn't really fucking matter to us.
It's like America. We're fucked anyway, regardless of who's president, so who cares?
Very much so. Very much. Very similar. And then we're going to kind of see the beginning of this coronation. The guys on the sides are going to start marching in. They start holding up their swords. Prince Aegon's going to start marching in under them. I saw a couple things online that made me crack up. References to the Welcome to the Black Parade fucking music video. I was like, oh, that's so spot on. Yeah. I was like, that is exactly what this emo bitch looks like.
It really is, yeah.
I was like, that's so good. I was cracking up. But as he starts kind of getting sworn in and making his way up, Rhaenys, she's going to duck out. She starts heading down a flight of stairs. What could she be after? I wonder. But we see, like I said, Aegon, he's getting sworn in. He's walking through all these swords. He gets up. They give him the whole thing. You're the new ruler, yada, yada, yada. They place even Aegon the Conqueror's crown, that gangsta black fucking crown. Mm-hmm. They put that thing on him. They give him the fucking sword. New fucking king, Andal, the Rhoynar, the fucking first men, the whole nine. And crowd starts applauding little by little. Not crazy.
It was one of those. It took like one or two people to start applauding, and then now the crowd. All right, fine.
Yep, started getting crazy, and then Aegon starts to get that kind of look like they love me.
Yeah,
they really love me.
Right.
I've never been adored in my life.
He's so fucking clueless.
And just instantly turns around like maybe this ruling thing won't be so bad. Like a total jackass. Like the one thing he's read in a book, he pulls out his sword. He's like, I'll lift my sword into the air. They'll love it. Sure enough, they all start going crazy. Yeah. It's so perfect. He's just like, yes, Mom, look at me, Mom. They love me. And they even show his family. They show Alicent, Otto, his wife and sister, and they all just kind of just great.
Yeah, they're all thinking the same thing. Dude,
good job. Which, isn't this what you guys all wanted?
Right.
Why do we not want Rhaenyra to be queen if we want this kid to be king just for no reason? Nobody likes him. What are we doing here?
They're like, yeah, we got a long way to go still.
For real. It's fucking crazy. And then, right as we're getting to, we're wrapping up this kind of coronation here, the crowd's chanting, all of a sudden, fucking boom, we get our episode 9, penultimate episode moment. Rhaenys went down below the dragon pit. She grabbed her dragon. She grabbed her battle armor. She came blowing through the goddamn floor, killed who knows how many fucking civilians in the meantime. Yeah. But who cares about them peasants? She fucking lands in the dragon pit, the coronation room. She goes right up to the fucking head of them, the whole, whatever you want to call it, the fucking little thing that they're standing on, you know what I mean? And she's fucking just gonna have this dragon just fucking let out a mean roar, which was kind of cool and kind of lame, but kind of cool. Right in front of all them, Alicent's gonna fucking stand in front of her son like that's gonna do anything. Yeah. If they decide to light you the fuck up, They're all dead. But Rhaenys just looking pretty cool in her battle armor. She isn't even going to say anything. Just kind of fucking shows, hey, I could kill all of you right now if I just say one word. If I just whisper Dracarys, you guys are all fucking marshmallows, dude. Yeah. She doesn't do it, though. She fucking blows out the front door because, God forbid, the dragon just rips through a wall or a ceiling like it just did with the floor. And we get some terrible CGI of it flying out the door, which was really dumb. And I just...
Two thumbs
down. I can't say how much I hated this last scene. I fucking hated it. If for any of you guys that don't know, this wasn't a book scene. This wasn't written by George. This was something that they just added into the show.
That makes it even worse. You came up with this shit?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what part of the reason why it made no sense. It was just so dumb because
I figured it was at least part of the storyline.
No, dude. Literally, legitimately, what happened? It was just a tale of they had to do it for the audience. It was for all of us idiots who were like, "Oh, penultimate episode, it's episode 9. We got to have something huge." And the writers had their episode, and they were just like, "We don't have this big moment. We have to write something in." You know what I'm saying? What can we do? And they do this the beast beneath the floorboards thing. But the thing is anybody with a brain knows, the dragon's not going to light up all of these people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. The whole show is based around this family going to war with this family.
Right.
So if this whole family's dead, there's no more show.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
My thing is, she says, she basically, the way I take it when she flies away is that she's saying, this isn't my battle to fight in. Kind of deal.
I saw that.
So her thing is just going to be she's just going to run off, tell Rhaenyra, and is either going to fight on that side or is just going to fly away into non-existence. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
The payoff just going to be I'm just going to tell Rhaenyra and then fly off.
No, I totally hear you.
Regardless of what the payoff is dumb because she said this isn't her battle, so she's either going to fight on the other side of the battle.
Yep.
Or just
Or
going to
just
fly
yeah.
away into eternity, and that's going to be it.
Yeah, no, it makes literally
Didn't
no sense.
I don't want to say didn't get it, got it, but didn't like it.
No, it was
At all.
it was wicked dumb. And like I said, you weren't the first person that said that, or I've read it, I've heard it, like I've heard that side of it. Like, oh, she didn't think it was her side. But I was like, we like watch it. Like, this is Game of Thrones. Everything is about the line of succession. That's
Yeah.
what this whole fucking thing is about.
Yeah.
Her 2 granddaughters, her basically only family left, because she had a son who's gone,
Yep.
a daughter who's dead, a husband who might be gone, her other 2 grandkids, questionable if they're even hers or not, you know what I'm saying? Her only family left is in line to inherit the Iron Throne and the Driftmark Throne, which is where she currently resides,
Yep.
if she's Team Rhaenyra. She has a side in this fucking battle, let me
Yeah,
tell you, you know what I mean?
exactly.
This isn't like, I'm just an old lady, I'm just going to go back to my fucking castle and
now
watch
she-
this war out.
Now she's going to go on the other side, fight, and lead to more casualty. Like, that's dumb.
It was fucking dumb. It was dumb. I hated it. Like I said, I know I would have been on the minority. A lot of people would have been against me. But if they had just ended the episode with his coronation and him doing his Azov thing, I would have honestly liked that better. I really would have.
No, I agree.
I really would have. I would, like I said, I wouldn't have been one of my favorite episodes. I would have came away and I said, oh, that was a fine episode.
Even if you did that, and then like they did something where they like you heard a dragon kind of, and like everybody like went out of the scepter and saw Rhaenys like flying away.
Yeah.
If she just
Cool.
flew away with the dragon,
Yep.
then that would be.
You just know she's gonna go send the message.
Right.
Messenger escape.
Exactly.
Kind of a thing,
Yeah,
you
she
know
got
what I mean?
away.
Yep.
She's gonna go to Dragonstone. She's gonna fight.
I
on
like that
side.
actually. I think that's perfect. I think that works better.
Would have made a lot more
Yep.
sense.
I think that works perfect. Like right after they kind of fade out of the coronation, you just see like her fucking
Whatever you
like,
wanna
swoop
do.
out kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I think that would have been perfect.
Yep.
I think that would have made way more sense. And the thing is like I hate that. Like don't fucking pander to us. Don't just pander to us because you think it's what people want. That's
Yeah.
how you make shitty
What
shit.
do you think? I wasn't at the edge of my seat thinking, oh man, she's gonna light up the entire family.
Yeah, no, man. Don't fucking pander. I'm telling you, that's how you make shitty fucking products.
I thought maybe one person, you know what I mean? If they got, I don't know, like I said, like Cole, for example, the dragon just would have picked up fucking Cole and ate him. You know what I mean? I thought maybe one person was gonna go, but he wasn't gonna light up the whole entire family.
It was just dumb. Right away, I hate it. It left
Cheesy.
a bad taste in my
Cheesy.
mouth for the episode. Because like I said, most of the episode I actually enjoyed, even though it was a slower episode. Like I said, I thought there was a lot of fucking moving of parts and stuff.
Yeah.
You saw some things from people that you hadn't seen before, especially saying like Aemond has kind of an eye for the throne, sort of shit like that. I was like, all right, the Lord Commander, the King's God, it seems like he might be joining Team Rhaenyra. We have fucking these twin brothers. Maybe one of them is joining Team Rhaenyra. There's all this fucking shit.
Yeah,
I
I
was
think
like,
you
all
see
right.
too in the premiere, the trailer for the next one. He goes like they show him
Which one?
in Dragonstone.
The twin?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
He goes
yeah,
to Dragonstone and says that he's basically fighting on her side.
Yeah.
I just think it would have been easier if, like you said, we have everybody basically pick a side, and then we just go to like I didn't need that last scene.
I
all.
I didn't need it.
If that was her,
I
if
did
that was
not need
Rhaenys's like big like payoff scene, then that's a fucking lame.
Oh
payoff
yeah, it was wicked lame, wicked lame.
scene. So we'll have to see where it goes, but it's just logistically, I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. Overall, episode kind of slower, especially for an episode number 9. Like I said, I didn't hate it. I haven't hated any of these episodes. I didn't love it though. You know what I mean? Somewhere kind of towards the bottom,
I'm
definitely.
close to
but-
hate. The more we talk about it again doing this podcast, and I'm like getting more mad thinking about it.
Yeah,
I'm not full hate, but
I can tell you, I
I'm
hated
getting
that last
there.
scene. Hated
yeah,
it.
that's dumb.
Hated it. Los.
Let down of a finale, but the season
Finale's next week. That wasn't the finale.
finale. Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Penultimate, my bad.
It's all good.
But yeah, it was a little bit of a letdown, but I still enjoying the season as a whole, and I'm looking forward to.
Finale.
It's funny too because every time I'm like, there hasn't been many bad episodes, but whenever I'm like, oh, that was a shit episode, I see the trailer for the next one, and I'm like, let's go.
Yeah. Every single week they fucking
Let's
do that.
go.
They
We
show
got
you just
fucking
enough of the good parts.
War dragons flying around, absolute battle the whole entire episode. So
Yeah.
I'm right back in. I'll
Right.
still be there, but it doesn't mean I don't think this episode stunk.
Which, just because we're tied to Game of Thrones does not mean we have to do exactly what Game of Thrones did. Which means if you guys don't want to use episode 9 as your big thing,
That's
and you guys
fine.
want to use episode
Yeah.
10 as your big thing, then do that.
Yeah.
Just do it. Don't fucking pander.
Just make
you know what I'm
episode 9
saying?
good.
Right. Yeah. We disagree on that part of it. I kind of enjoyed it, aside from that last scene. But that's neither here nor there. You get what I'm saying, though. Yeah. It's like fucking just do your own thing if that's what you want to do. So now it does seem like that. It does seem like next week we are going to get at least a taste of what we're going to get in season 2. Which
my thing wasn't that I didn't not like the episode because it was a letdown of a penultimate episode. I thought you could put that in like episode 3, and I would still not be a fan of the episode.
I get you, man.
You know what I mean? Like it did. The fact that it was a penultimate and was a letdown for the penultimate didn't. Yeah. I just overall thought it was just a bad episode.
It's always a great episode, and this one just wasn't.
No, I definitely hear you. Like I said, a lot of the politicking and shit, that's my favorite stuff. And I thought there was a lot of good stuff as far as that goes in this. Like I said, the Allison Rainey's conversation I liked. The Allison and Otto, the second one where he says, all right, good job playing, daughter. And she's like, this ain't a game. I like that.
Yeah, it's nice that you're seeing Allison. Like I said, she keeps getting more and more of like the face turn, for lack of a better term. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Her eyes are getting a little bit more open as to both sides.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm not ruling her out to be, to switch sides fully, but like I said, I don't know anything from the books, so this is just going off of me watching it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But like I said, definitely a bit of a letdown. I mean, even I, especially for an episode 9, a little bit of a letdown. But hopefully this Sunday we have the finale, and hopefully we get some big things. Hopefully, like I said, we get a taste of what we're going to get in season 2. You know what I'm saying? But
finale always delivers. So.
Yeah, like I said, if you Game of Thrones has always used episode 9 to do their big thing,
except the very last
and then
one.
episode 10 they fucking set up the next season. If this show wants to do something different, then do something different.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Who cares? You can show a battle in this 10th episode and still set things up for the next season. No one, you know what I'm saying?
Man. Yeah.
Exactly. Just fucking don't pander to us. Most of us viewers that watch are fucking idiots, okay? We're dumb. We have dumb opinions. So don't do what we want to do because they're dumb. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do. You're a professional writer for a reason, okay? Trust yourself.
Like, I was born at night, but it wasn't last night. Like, don't feel. I can tell when you're trying to fucking pander to me.
For
like
real.
You said, like you were doing. Like,
yeah.
I'm not the smartest fucking tool in the box, but I know what's going on when you're trying to fucking do that.
Yeah. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for House of the Dragon. Yeah. Yeah. Anything else? No. All right. That's going to wrap it up for us here then today. Another big fucking show. Another good show. Great 2 finales from She-Hulk and Rings of Power. We're set up for a finale in House of the Dragon. We were all let down by Halloween a bit.
Yeah.
But we got a lot more to do this month. Like I said, I've already teased it a couple times.
Big shift to this podcast, I think, coming up.
Oh, yeah. Big shift is coming. Next week we have House of the Dragon finale. We're going to be doing some Andor. We have an Andor show coming, but we have a Halloween show that's quickly approaching that I think is going to be a real fun time for you guys watching. I think that's going to be one to definitely check out on YouTube for sure. For those of you that listen on Spotify, I think that Halloween show is going to be a for sure YouTube watch.
Yep.
But the show is definitely going to be different. Like Seth said, it's going to be definitely switching it up very, very soon now that all these shows are wrapping up. I enjoyed them, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm honestly looking forward to having a little bit more freedom here to kind of do what we want to do and talk about more things quickly and randomly rather than just being so friggin' driven to all these shows. You know what I mean? But
agreed.
I've had fun doing it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But,
helps when they're good too.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. But that's gonna wrap it up for us. As always, please share, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a rating. All of that stuff helps us. We need it. You know what I mean? We got to get more views on this show. It's the only way the show's gonna get bigger, people. You gotta share. I need your help. Please do it for me. Do it for me.
Please.
But thank you to Mr. Kalos.
Hey, good to have you back, bud.
The human soundboard. That's right.
It was a blast.
Good to have you back, bud. We missed you.
baby.
It was a long couple of weeks without you. I'm glad to have you back.
It's the real office you should be in right there.
And then to Mr. Rogers again, thank you for not only today, bud, but thank you so much for helping fill in these last few weeks because you've been in here like crazy, producing, co-hosting, doing it all. So I really
it's not
appreciate
easy.
it.
It's not easy being on that side of the camera.
I'm here anytime. Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, we're gonna, like we said, we're gonna be back for Andor.
You do good.
Back for Andor. Let's go.
For Andor. So we will see you guys soon. But for now, take it easy and happy watching.
Later.